And we're live, Soscast, episode 44, only on Valuetainment Money. Welcome to Valuetainment, the #1 channel in the world for entrepreneurs. You put entrepreneur into YouTube, bang, Valuetainment. Here we go. This episode today, inflation is crazy right now. I don't know if it's affecting any of you guys out there, but it's affecting everyone. So we're going to cover today to our friends in the audience is, how the hell do we deal with this with relationships? Who's paying on dates? Rent is getting more expensive. Are you splitting rent with your significant other? Chopping it up. It's not easy. We've got some clips to show you. Guys basically saying, if I ain't getting any action, I ain't taking you to dinner. And the girl like going crazy. Like, we're going to get into all that and then some. Anyway, if you're not familiar with what we do here on the Soscast, this is where money and relationships meet. We got the lovely Natalia Del Valle in the house, right?
Present.
What do we do here on the show, Natalia? Sum up the show for the ladies and gentlemen watching.
We save lives out here with this information. Can I
We're
tell
saving
you?
lives,
We really
okay?
do.
More financial lives,
Yes.
intersexual dynamics lives, but
what
we're
is
saving
life without
lives. We're
that?
helping men what?
I said, what
get
is life
paid,
without
get
that?
laid, so they could do it their way. So that's what we're doing here today. But we've got a sick panel of some very lovely, talented individuals. So let's go down the list of who we have here today. Should we go ladies first or gentlemen first? Because there's only one gentleman here.
I think we should start with the gentleman.
Yeah.
Start with the gentleman. When
Change it up.
only here does the gentleman
This
go
is why
first.
society is so messed up.
This is
because
what's going on here.
No.
Okay. Well,
Save the best for last, they say. Huh?
JP, say your last name.
Lambaise.
Lambaise. There it is. You might recognize this guy. Massive YouTube channel called Healthy Junk Food, spelled HELLTHY. Like you're going to hell.
Yeah.
Let's show everybody his YouTube channel. I think north of 2 million subscribers, 2.8 million subscribers, I want to say. You co-host this with your lady friend, business partner, Julia. You also have another channel with her, 300,000 subs, JP and Julia. You're dominating YouTube in the junk food space. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely junk food. I don't think we do anything healthy.
So I like the play on words, healthy, like HELL. Anyway, welcomes. You do food reviews, challenges, recipes, and you eat some massive McDonald's chicken nuggets, like the size of my head.
Yeah, on the daily. Yeah.
On the daily.
Yeah.
How do you stay so skinny?
Well, I'm trying to bulk up. Intermittent fasting works a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, respect. On your right, my left, networker queen of Miami, Melitsa Waage.
Yes.
Did I say that correctly?
Absolutely.
I haven't seen her since I spoke at this event that she puts on called Epic Talks, which is sick event, like the #1 networking event in Miami. CEO, networker, hell of a gal. I mean, I don't know what else could I say about you.
Thank you. Well, I'm passionate about my purpose, and I'm here to create impact and meet other amazing individuals, and hopefully get you to come and speak at another Epic Talks.
Oh, we're back, baby.
Back and
Remix. Okay, yeah, maybe later this summer. And then Victoria Vesce, like fresh.
Fresh Vesh.
Fresh Vesh. Respect. Daps.
Respect.
Model, former NBA dancer, cheerleader too? Or that's what
NBA dancer.
Okay, NBA dancer.
It's synonymous.
You went to law school.
Yes.
You didn't take the bar yet, but you
Right.
did go to law school.
Right.
What is that considered? Like kind of a lawyer?
I'm just an in-betweener.
She's an in-betweener. She's a tweener. But you also have a crazy story that you had some health issues and you had you're a brain tumor survivor.
Yeah, I am a brain
Guys,
tumor
you
survivor.
don't judge a book by its cover. Beautiful girl here, dealt with challenges, and maybe we can get into, turning lemons into lemonade today.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or lemons into some sort of margarita or
All right, let's get
like
a
that.
martini. I mean, I'm just trying to say that.
Editors, can we get producers? Can we get some drinks in here?
Lemonade and Tito's, please.
I would love that. So anyway, this show is for you guys out there today. I'm sure we have entrepreneurs galore that watch this channel. Millions and millions and millions of viewers. We do this show for you. We want to make sure that you can make an impact in the world, make money, get hot chicks. These girls are going to spit some game. And maybe JP will spit some game on how he got a hot chick. I don't know.
Absolutely.
All right, good. Well, let's start off with relationships. We're going to talk money. We're going to talk relationships. We're going to talk food. We're going to talk restaurants. We're going to talk dating. So of our 3 entrepreneurs on the panel, one of them is in a serious relationship. And it's not one of the hot ones. And no offense, they're hotter than us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just visually, I feel very inadequate. It's great.
So do I.
Yeah.
So you and I are on the same page here. Like, all right, what do we do here? But you host your show, Healthy Junk Food, with your partner, fiance, Julia. There she is right there. Just describe that dynamic. How'd you guys meet? How'd you guys start this channel? Explain.
So I was doing stand-up comedy. That's how I met. Like, I ran into Rob Gargiulo. That's how I kind of came here. And I was doing stand-up comedy in New York, and Julia was hosting an open mic. And I was like, oh, another venue to just perform at. I'm like, okay, she's kind of like hot and stuff. But I'm just going to focus on my comedy because, I was very driven. And, of course, emotions got in the way. And I'm like, oh, we had similar friends. And she's like, wow, you're kind of funny. And I'm like, yeah, I know I'm kind of funny. And she's like, you're kind of hot, too. And she's like, I know I'm kind of hot. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's just do you want to just do this?
Should we just bang right here on stage? Is this happening?
But, it was a chore. She, I had to, I definitely went through the game, I had to pull type crap, That's what we guys we got to do. Like, I hate it, but we just got to resist texting. I literally say, hey, Siri, set a timer for 15 minutes. And then when it goes off, I text her back.
Really?
But anyway, the bad thing is when we started, no, it's a good tip, guys. When we started dating, she saw my bad habits. It was like a bachelor. She saw like 10 cheeseburgers in the fridge. She's like, what is that? I'm like, that's my meals, my meal prep. She goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, 30 seconds in a microwave, 70% power. She goes, no, we're not doing that no more. She goes, you're going to learn how to cook this at home. I'm like, well, can we film it? She goes, why? I'm like, in case we want to make it again. She's like, okay, cool. I'm like, I'll upload it to YouTube. She goes, okay. She didn't realize that YouTube was a platform that could grow into something, but we did it as a hobby. So I think that's what really made us successful is it actually brought us together. We would cook on the weekends. We'd make the videos. We got goofy and we had fun together. And people really loved the dynamic of us too.
And how long have you guys been doing the YouTube channel?
We're going on 10 years.
Wow. You guys have been doing a YouTube channel together
commitment.
10 years.
Yeah, we're kind of OG.
Hell yeah, you are.
But we've expanded so much outside the scope of YouTube that like YouTube isn't our biggest platform anymore.
What's your biggest platform now?
Believe it or not, like Snapchat. Like,
still.
Yeah, but like we don't run any of it. It's all like this, this machine's running it now. So I'm like, I feel so disconnected from my own brand now. I'm like, I got to go on podcasts and stuff.
Well, welcome, bro.
Exactly.
So we got you in here. We imported you. And so just to be clear, your game to get this good-looking gal who's also funny was, I'm quirky, I'm funny, I got confidence, but I'm setting Siri 15 minutes before I text the girl. And just
absolutely. You gotta have these rules. You have to stay within these guidelines, and you need discipline because, if you break these rules, then they see the weakness. I'm spilling too much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Agreed.
Ladies, before we kind of get into your relationships and love lives and advice, weigh in on our friend JP over here. Is he doing good things, bad things? I mean, he's doing some good things right. Critique our friend.
I don't know enough.
They don't know enough yet.
I mean, I just do a 15-second timer. I think you're overthinking it. It worked out. I mean,
it's working out for the guy.
Yeah.
Are you guys, any of you in relationships right now? Single?
No.
Okay.
So I recently went through a breakup like 3 months ago. So yeah.
Okay. And how long were you with the guy?
Almost 2 years.
2 years.
Almost 2 years. Yeah.
Almost 2 years. Breakup. Have you ever been married?
Yes, I was married.
Okay.
10 years ago.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
So now you're single, boss babing it up.
Yes.
What's your advice to ladies that have been married, separated, divorced, working on relationships, and it's just not working out, but you're very focused on your career. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you more focused on your career than making the relationships work? Is that a fair question?
Right now I am, yeah. But when I'm in a relationship, I go all in. I show the relationship the respect it deserves. And for me, the best advice would be, especially for women leaders, really focus on learning about masculine and feminine energy. That's really important. And also, don't rush into anything. You know what I mean? Take your time to sleep with a man. Take your time to get to know him. Take your time to really focus on respecting yourself and honoring your boundaries.
So when you say masculine and feminine energy, break that down.
So as women leaders, we tend to take our masculine energy into our relationships, and that's what repels a man, especially a man that is a masculine man, a man that's looking for something serious and for a commitment, and to get married and eventually have kids.
What do you mean masculine energy? You're taking masculine energy into a relationship that repels a man. Break that down.
Yeah, because no man wants his girl to feel like a man, for her to feel like a man.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be in a relationship with a man. You want to be in a relationship with this beautiful feminine goddess energy woman, right? A lot of women who are in powerful positions, and even women who are not in powerful positions, they don't learn about emotional intelligence. They don't learn about staying in their lane, staying in their feminine energy, allowing the man to be the hunter, allowing the man to show up as the man, right? And if a man doesn't show up, then why would you want to be with him? Stop trying to force things or for him to try to do stuff, So I think it's extremely important to learn about feminine energy and masculine energy.
Can you give an example of what bringing masculine energy into the relationship is?
So, for example, a woman comes home, hey, babe, I want to do this, I want to do that, let's go to dinner, I picked the restaurant, I picked this, I picked that, right? She did everything. Give the man the chance to do that for you. Lean back. Majority of the women don't lean back. And if they don't hear from him, they're chasing and texting him, hey, what's going on? Hey, are we going on a date tonight? No, you're so busy with your life. It's so full and complete that your man is going to come after you because he respects you more. The fact that you're not all over him all the time, So a lot of women want to do the work, and that's when they lose the man. That's when, all of a sudden he loses attraction for her, and they don't understand why, but that's the reason why.
But isn't a woman supposed to, take care of when babe comes home, we're gonna eat this or we're gonna take care of this?
A woman's not really supposed to do.
Well, not supposed to, but isn't that something also men kind of they talk about a housewife. A housewife, you come home,
he has to
done.
earn it. There better be a ring on that finger before she starts doing that.
Okay.
Amen.
Yeah,
Okay, so Victoria, you're over here amen and Jesus over here.
I know.
What did Melitsa say, or what did Natalia say that you agreed with or that you disagreed with?
He's got to earn it.
Earn what
I'm
exactly?
sorry. You can open up your cold ravioli if I'm not your girlfriend, or if I'm not your wife. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go home and cook for you and go make your bed, clean your home, do all these things for you if there's no commitment. It's the truth. And I see that in a lot of my friends. They do all these things for guys that barely committed to them. And then they wonder why, what happened? They just expected it. They expected, hey, I don't have to commit to this woman if she's doing all this stuff to me. And I can go flirt with other girls, go on dates with other girls. I don't have to fully commit to her. And she's still coming home, cooking me dinner, doing all these sweet things.
So your advice to women is pump the brakes a little bit. Don't just start cooking, cleaning, being a great housewife before there's a commitment, before there's a ring on the finger.
Exactly.
But if you have a ring on the finger, does your business and your career change?
I'm sorry?
Say you have the ring on the finger, right, and you do cook at home and stuff like that. Now, because that is now your priority, does your business now take a hit?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You stay 100% committed to that. That's your second marriage. You know what I mean?
Oh, because so you put work, then your husband, then
no, you keep them both, in their lane. Okay. Not that one comes before the other, right? But you don't stop doing your work to cater to him. What if he leaves all of a sudden? So now your business suffered, right? So you want to keep those both consistent. Your relationship, make sure that you're constantly honoring it and watering it and giving it the respect it deserves. Have date nights, create some fun time for you guys. Take a travel maybe once every 2 to 3 months, but you don't stop working on your business.
Let me ask you, Melitsa, everything you say with, I'm this girl's got it. Check, boom, has all the right answers, good looking, hot, smart, networker. Okay, bang. But you've had some relationships that haven't worked out. You said you just got out of a relationship. You've got all the answers. So what's happening? Is the guy not fulfilling what he needs to fulfill? Why are your relationships not working out? Because it sounds like you know what you need to be doing and you know what the guy needs to be doing. So where is it falling apart?
My past relationship, the only issue that was there is that he owns a company that he just has to be traveling all the time. So I needed to be honest with myself. Honestly, the most amazing man I've ever met. I needed to
The
be
man you were married to.
no, the man that I just
now.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, the one I was married to. This was a decade ago. I was a completely different person.
Gotcha.
You know, I was able to learn from that relationship a lot, and I was more of the masculine in the relationship, and he was more of the feminine. You know, so when he cheated on me, he's like, I needed to feel. He's like, you emasculated me. I needed to feel like a man again.
Oh, damn.
So yeah. So then that's when I started learning about masculine and feminine energy. What is exactly does that mean? And I'm so appreciative that that was my process, right? Because I learned so much, and I owe a lot of who I am today because of that relationship. With the relationship now, I needed to be honest with myself and say, hey, are you okay with having kids with a husband that's never going to be here? And honestly, no, I want my husband to be home. I want him to be able to go to the soccer plays. I want to be able to, take the weekends and go somewhere with the kids. Yeah. And it was a really, really tough breakup for me because he's an incredible man, but I needed to be honest with myself.
Got it. JP, you live with your girl?
Yeah, I do.
You live together?
Yeah.
How's that dynamic work? Because you guys literally live together. You work together. You're engaged, you said. Mm-hmm. How does that like when you get home from wherever, is like food on the table, or you get, how does that work?
Well, with a cooking channel, like the food's kind of always on the table, but
right.
I mean, I think the dynamic was like we ended up becoming closer and becoming best friends because we did the job together. And I think a lot of relationships, if you don't have that thing that can make you feel fully connected to the person, and you lose that connection maybe through arguments or some little surface level stuff, then you kind of just harbor this resentment that's kind of like brushed under the rug. But when you have to work together, you have to face this conflict, and I think that's a lot of things that people try to hide from. They don't like conflict, but you're gonna have conflict no matter what, and you just got to learn how to deal with it properly. And they don't teach a lot of people that in school and stuff. So we're just kind of you just see a lot of people just yelling and screaming, and both people don't see where each person's coming from. And what we've done is we learned a lot about conflict resolution and how to get back to zero, and that's having full connection again. And to have that feeling really resets everything, and you're not stacking on and layering issues.
Give us an example. Like you're getting an issue, and you said you want to get back to zero? Is that
exactly? Yeah.
Break down that metaphor.
So basically, 100 would be the worst. Like you're both angry, you're almost ready to split. 50, there's still something there. Even 20, like you're still like you just feel it. When you're sitting with them, the energy, it's just awkward, and you don't feel safe. 0 is when you're like bliss again. Like it's a great place to kind of get back to. You don't have to get back to it that day, though. Some people think, oh, you have to go to bed happy. You have to go to bed, saying I love you and all this stuff. And that's wrong. Sometimes you need a whole night to process what happened and then come back with a clear head the next day. What we do working together constantly for 10 years is we're going to disagree. It's going to happen. Ideas, where we think our brand should go. She would have never approved what I'm wearing today, like at all. Like you're going out like that, And I get a lot of that, and the respect is that you have to understand that if you want to respect them back, not get defensive, but see that they're coming from a good place. And a lot of people get too defensive, and at that point, it's like a bunch of insecurity kind of rolls out, and then you're projecting like your own insecurities on them when they're just trying to look out for you and be the best for you.
Let me ask you one more question, and then I want to get Victoria's opinion on this. It sounds like you've got a very good grasp on how you should work your relationship, the work relationship dynamic. You said something about being best friends. You always constantly hear be best friends with your partner. Well, I've dealt with this in relationships. How do you prevent, I feel like we're just roommates again. You ladies have felt this. You've lived with a guy before, obviously. You've never lived with a guy. Oh, we're going to get to Victoria. But how do you avoid the whole, feeling like roommates dynamic?
You just got to be active, consistently, intimately.
What does that mean?
Well, being best friends, but at the end of the day, if you have a date night, or if you have a movie night, or if you're cuddling up, I mean, you're breaking those barriers of best friend when you do that. And I think that when I say best friends, it's like usually like during working hours and stuff, or just going out with other people, being best friends. You're not like groping each other. Not a lot of PDA, but within your safe time and in your home where you feel love and you feel that. you dedicate those times for it, such as date night is a perfect example of that. If you ignore having date night, then you're going to ignore the intimate part of your relationship. And some people in each relationship got to juggle each person's either drive or libido. Like, someone might be every day, some might be, you have to come to a compromise of that to also feel fulfilled in that emotional level too.
JP, I got to give you a shout out, buddy. You got some game.
Yeah.
I didn't know you have this kind of game. I thought you did food and
I'm impressed.
all right.
It might be an age thing though. You know what I mean? I was not like this 25 years old and I was
Really?
at college time.
And you said you're about to be 40?
Yeah, I'm about to be 40.
So explain 15 years ago what your game was versus now.
Well, I mean, I had to force to do game because I went to a college town at the age of 26. I got a job in a college town as an engineer, and all my friends were freaking.
What town?
It's in New York. There's a town called Oneonta. It's a college town, a SUNY, which is state of New York, university, and you got Hartwick, which is a private school. And basically, the whole town is just college kids.
So you're 26, you're an engineer, you're making money surrounded by hot college chicks.
Exactly.
Bang, how does that work out for you?
Bang, I have to go to these bars and actually, yeah, exactly. I have to.
And you started to start learning game.
Start learning games, stand-up comedy, whatever you want to call it.
Well,
really comes down to just like being authentic and genuine and just, having conversation. And believe it or not, it's easy kind of to compete when you got a bunch of people, that are just like, brr, brr. Like, bro, you're hot, bro. And I'm like, hey, how do you feel?
Hi, I don't sound like a caveman. I'm pretty funny. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, can you do that one more time, please? Oh, yeah.
Bro, I'm drunk. Yeah, you're hot.
Melitsa and then Victoria. Melitsa, back to that roommate question. How do you avoid the whole feeling like roommate scenario? You've had this in your relationship before, ever?
In my marriage, I did.
Okay, in your marriage.
For me, it's just keeping it spicy, like doing it in different places, getting freaky, like in the car, like,
Whoa.
just like different places of the house, or, create a fantasy, maybe one fantasy a month or something like that, and go have fun with it.
Absolutely.
Okay. What was that? That was perfect timing right there.
Right?
Getting freaky speaking, by the way. Victoria.
Yes.
Let's go to you. Sweet, innocent Victoria. When we brought up relationships earlier, you said you're hopelessly single.
Deadly, but yeah.
Deadly. Did you say helplessly or hopelessly?
I didn't say any of that.
You said deadly single? Is that what you
deadly.
said? Man, I heard that maybe.
Just a lot of dead fish in the sea for me.
Okay, you're gorgeous. You're smart. You're cool.
Thanks.
You're a lawyer. You've got a good personality. Why can't you lock down a man?
That's the question I've been having.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I don't know. I just feel like maybe it's my peer group that I'm dating, I guess, or maybe just who I'm attracted to is just not compatible with me. So I need to change my type.
Why? What's your type now?
Honestly, I
Because
really.
if you're looking for a funny Asian guy, I got you. Okay, what's your type?
Gosh, well, I mean, I do like a little younger than me, so maybe that's my problem.
You like guys that are younger than you?
Yeah.
I never asked this question, but how old are you?
I'm 29.
You're 29. Okay, and you're what, early 30s?
I just turned 40 last month.
Damn, girl.
Yeah,
Okay, and you're about to be
Oh,
40.
yeah.
So you're 29, and you're ideally like what?
I don't know. I mean, I
You
love.
just said younger, so you
I
do
do
know.
like
How
younger,
young?
like, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you're trying to go like high school hop
No,
for teacher
oh my
thing?
gosh,
I don't know.
no.
What younger? What kind of fetish you
I
got
would
going
like
on?
a couple years younger.
Why?
I don't know. Just something about
Can I
it.
give you some breaking news? That shit ain't gonna work out.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But like I've dated.
Do you know why, though?
I've dated everyone from like a 45-year-old to like a 24-year-old. Like I feel like maybe I don't know if it's social media. It's just the world we live in now. There's a lot of men, especially in South Florida, who are like 45 and they're like, I'm not ready to settle down yet. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I don't know
"What?"
any of those kind of guys out there, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
They're just still ready to like keep going to live in Miami. That's
maybe I know a few guys like that. Okay, so you're attracted to younger guys.
Well, I mean that's the majority of my attraction.
younger
But like
guys-
anybody, I really don't have a type, and maybe that is my problem. Maybe I'm just like a shotgun, just shooting everywhere, and I haven't really set a focus. Lately, I've just been focused on myself and my brand, which has been really like pivotal and crucial to me, like just being
Okay.
successful myself. But I've just found out a lot of South Florida dating is just
All right, well, let's discuss something, ladies, because part of what I wanted to discuss today is women focusing on their brand and their business, and I'm a huge advocate of that. But we had a what was that, about a month ago, where we had Allie and Pearl and Coco on.
Yes.
Massive debate, got hundreds of thousands of views right here on Soscast, and there was a debate between Coco, who's attractive
babe.
woman, boss babe. Do you know Coco Beauty by any chance? She's in Miami. Anyway, she'd be great for Epic Talks. She's focusing on building her brand. On the other hand, we had two women who their sole focus was being a good housewife, finding a man, being a wife, and that's Coco. And then I don't know if you want to pull up the thumbnail of that from Soscast. I don't know what episode that was, but you'll find it. Just hit being a housewife. But it became very clear to me that women have a very difficult choice to make. We had the debate when Matt Sapala was here. I said, guys, who do you think has it harder, men or women these days? And everyone said, well, men, obviously, men. They got to pay the bills, and men's are tough. I said, guys, I got to tell you.
This one was with the Coco.
Yeah, that one right there.
And
How to
this
be a
was
housewife.
Matt.
That one right there. So I said, guys, I think women have it harder. And I'll tell you why. And they're like, what do you mean women have it harder? I go, men on the surface have it harder. All right, it's hard to be a man. You got to be the breadwinner and provide all that. But one thing that I like in life is clarity. Mm-hmm. I know that as a man, my job is very clear. Get out there, bro. Make money. Kick ass. Stay in shape. Be a leader. Have game. It's very important. Like it's clear as a man what you need to do. As our friend MLD says, John from Martin Life Dating, MLD. Yeah, a man needs to make money, make muscles, have game, and hold his frame. Like hold it down. You're the man. It's clear. For women, and this is where I want to get your perspective, it's not very clear. The feminism movement has basically been very important and a major motivating factor for women over the last 50 years. But some may say that the pendulum has swung too far and that women have lack of clarity. It used to be very straightforward for literally eons, millennium. Women be the hold down the nest, take care of the home, and raise the children. It was very clear. And in the last 40, 50 years, that it started with Dolly Parton's movie Working 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. You know this. Of course you do. North Carolina girl. And all of a sudden, women got empowered, make your money, all good. But back to my point of clarity. Now women are unsure what lane they want to go. I could go be a boss babe, and I can make my money and create my niche and do all that. Or I could go, be a housewife, support my husband. In my opinion, and I want to get your opinion on this, it's very hard to focus on both. Mm-hmm. You can try to do both, but let's take you for an example. You've had a marriage that didn't work out, have relationships that haven't worked out, your career's working out. You've never been in a serious relationship. I don't want to say never. You're not in a serious relationship. I apologize. Well, you never lived with someone. I don't know if that's like, more of a Christian.
I'm from,
all right,
I'm
cool.
from the South. So it's a little
but
different.
anyway, and then I'm going to read you a stat and weigh in on this. There's a stat that just came out. I don't know if you can Google this.
Yeah.
45% of women between the ages of 18 and 45 by the year 2030 are expected to be not married and no children.
Wow.
Okay? 45% of women will be unmarried 2030, I believe. Unmarried and no kids. So while she's pulling that up, that to me is kind of shocking a little bit. Whereas, I believe in the nuclear family. I believe in having kids. Like, I believe in that. So I'm reading stats. I'm giving you my opinion. Do you want to weigh in on this?
I believe that. I believe it. Majority of my girlfriends who I find to be extraordinary and beautiful, they're single. And they run their own businesses, and it's really fun. It could be a little bit how do you say it? a little difficult to find that person that you have that like exact match with, you know, and you know, thinking about my past relationships, I've only had 3 serious relationships and I'm 40. First was my marriage, then a second one, and then this one that just happened.
And by the way, for 40, you look fucking great.
Thank
Okay, I know
you.
40-year-olds are a mess.
Amazing.
You're about to
Yeah.
see. Scroll down. Single women will drive the economy in the next decade. Scroll down. See if we can pull in on that. Nearly half of working age women will be single in 2030. So single and without kids. Half of women. Okay? You're already like...
I'm like, no hope.
Okay, but...
We're just being more careful about the decisions that we're making. Like for me, I'm happy that I didn't have kids with my ex-husband or any of my exes. Like it wouldn't have been good for me, and it wouldn't have been good for the child either. So I'm being extremely, you know, careful with who I decide to bring into my life, you know, because the next one that comes, that's it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think women are being a lot more careful, like when they're planning to have kids. You know, you want to be financially ready. You want to have a home. You want to make sure that, you know, you can provide for your child in case, you know, your husband dies or you end up having a breakup. You know, I think women are thinking deeper into things like that.
But you want to have kids.
Absolutely.
So look, I'm not a doctor, but by 40, I know the chances of having kids.
My mom
you
and
can
dad
freeze your
had.
eggs.
But did you freeze your eggs?
I'm in the process of.
You are?
Yeah.
Hey,
Because-
my
yeah.
parents had me in their early 40s, so I mean, it's possible.
Okay.
I turned out a little. I mean, I'm okay.
You're doing all right.
I'm doing all right.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
But well, again, not a scientist, not a doctor, but I know it gets a lot harder after age 30 for a woman, right? But and you always see a lot of corporations are incentivizing women. Hey, just don't have kids now. Keep working, girl. We'll pay for you to freeze your eggs. You've seen this stuff?
No, I haven't.
Well, yeah. I mean, you might want to look into that. A corporation might pay for that. But you're gonna freeze your eggs because
Yes.
you want to have kids.
Yes.
So Melitsa, you're who I'm talking about. Boss babe, attractive, 40, wants to have kids. You're not going to sacrifice or put your career on the back burner
No.
or have kids with a man, you know,
No,
so
and
just out of convenience.
You know what's crazy? Like my ex-boyfriend, he even said, he's like, you know what I love about you? And I'm like, well, he's like, you don't have to work a day in your life, because he's extremely successful. And he's like, you're choosing to continue building your empire because you don't have to work a day in your life. You'll get everything paid for. The kids will be taken care of, every single thing. And I'm going to say no to that. A lot of women that I know would be like, are you kidding me? I would take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But what happens there is I feel like so many people are off when it comes to their alignment and purpose that they're willing to take an offer like that. And I truly believe that I'm so aligned with what I'm creating in my life and who I'm stepping in to become that I will attract that kind of man.
Respect to you. So you're 29.
yes.
Okay. So you're 11 years younger than Melitsa. Okay. You're deadly single. But
Single.
where do you see yourself by age 40? Like if you could wave a magic wand, successful, family, career, boss, kids, like if you can paint a picture of your future 10 years from now, where would you want to be ideally?
I mean, I want it all. I don't understand why society has to like be like, oh, you can only be successful and single. Why can't you be successful and married? For me personally, I think I'm just like, I look up to you, like listening to everything you said and that masculine and feminine energy, and especially like the masculine energy, like trying to build your brand. You have to have, like, as a female, you gotta have that masculine energy on, and maybe that's what's kind of turning me off and keeping me single. But I mean, I want to be mega successful and have a family, like, and I want to have kids. Like, I don't think that's
So
weird.
I guess the question is, and feel free to weigh in, JP, because how old are you? You're 40. You're going to be 40.
Yeah.
How old's your girl?
32.
Oh, so okay. So young. Does she want to have kids? You want to have kids?
No, like we've kind of, like I kind of agree with all these statistics here. I think it all boils down to like a level of intelligence and self-awareness. Like if you know yourself, like you don't need to be pressured based on whatever society's doing. You're kind of hyper focused on your own goals and your own direction, which is why truly respect what you've been doing, because I think that you are exactly on the right path, and to make those sacrifices for what you know is going to be the ultimate bigger goal is really important, because you yourself need to be fulfilled. You need to love yourself, respect yourself before you can even give love to anybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like to
Natalia,
use,
you're
Boom.
25.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, 4 years from now, you'll be Victoria's age, and a little bit after that, you'll be the lovely Melitsa's age.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself by 30 and then by 40?
Ideally, by 30, I would like to have a husband and possibly already my first child already. Ideally, that would be something that I'm like, would like. Ideally.
Okay. Now, I'd like to just kind of get this, because this is something that I think is beyond important. This is basically, I think this stat is perfect for what we do here on the show. This is, Soscast is where money and relationships meet. And we have beautiful women on, and we have successful guys on, and good-looking guys too, no offense. But this is a major stat. This is like, hold on. Like, again, this goes back to my clarity thing. I know what I got to do. Dude, I've got money in the bank. Hopefully I'm looking all right. I know what I want to do. I know by the time that I'm 45, I'm going to have millions in the bank. I'm going to meet a banger of a wife, and she's going to stay home, and she can have her career or whatever, but she's going to raise the kids. I know that for a fact. That's what's happening, okay? And I'm going to carve my path, and that's what my life is going to look like. Done. But that lack of clarity for women is not the same, because if you're building your empire, respect, do it. It's very hard to say, oh, I'm also going to have a guy. I'm also going to have kids. It's harder for a woman is what I'm saying.
I have to disagree with you on that.
Go.
I'll tell you why.
Sure.
Because one of my best girlfriends, her name is Sandy Glant. She's married to Jared Glant,
I know Sandy.
who's the
I've done something
president
with her
of
before. Yeah, of course.
Right? This girl is crushing it. She's crushing it with her productivity coaching academy. She just ran for Mrs. Florida, and she's competing for like Mrs. World or something like that. She's an amazing wife and amazing mommy. How does she do that? She prioritizes everything, and she does have 2 nannies that help her out.
Okay.
My thing, when I have my kids, I'm going to have nannies that are going to help me out. She can't do this all by herself and raise and cook and all that. She has nannies that help her out. So it is possible. I'm seeing her, and I've seen her from the beginning.
Yeah.
We've been friends for a long time. She's just been crushing it and keep setting goals. And she's shredded. She's super fit. So I think you can have it all.
Okay. And I appreciate you pushing back. And I know Sandy, so I'm going to push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
She's married to a super fucking successful guy. So she has the opportunity to take risks. She has the opportunity to say, I'm a nothing YouTuber, but I know my husband's going to pay the bills for the next X amount of time. I'm going to focus on being feminine and building my brand. And while I'm working on that, I'm going to raise the kids. And I can offset that time it takes to make money on YouTube or being an influencer, because my husband's good. Jared, I believe.
Jared, yeah.
And obviously it takes time, and that's what works, and that's great, respect. But unless you have the husband holding down the fort, you can't do that. I mean, you can, but it's a lot harder. For instance, your YouTube channel beyond successful. How long did it take for you to actually start making real money and quit your job?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question, because when we first started out, both of us were on the equal playing field. Well, maybe me a little bit more, but pretty much equal playing field. And to get by was like, we weren't making anything for 3-4 years of just straight up doing YouTube. Finally, we hit a point in the revenue where we're like, okay, we can like take a risk. But again, when we're taking a risk, it's not like we could have mom and dad to go home to, but we don't have that other support. We didn't have a safety net. We were in debt, college debt, you name it. And we were making just enough to be like pay the rent, and then maybe, do whatever the operational cost is for YouTube.
So from beginning of YouTube to actually, being able to quit your job and monetizing, it took how many years?
3 years.
Okay. So like going back to Sandy, she had the opportunity for 3 years to get up to speed on that. Anyway, here's the point of this. Let's focus on our audience for a second. Everyone out there is trying to make money, be successful, build their business, become the best employee or worker they could possibly be, and at the same time have a real relationship, someone that they love, trust, work with, depend on, kids, all that. The conversations that we're having here today with Victoria, Melitsa, and JP are exactly the tough conversations that you need to have with your significant other. Because women these days want to make money. And more power to you.
Yeah.
Okay? But it is, again, a lot harder for a woman, I think. it's hard to be a guy. Don't get me wrong. Like if it's a war in Ukraine, women, children, get out of here. Men go fight.
Yeah.
It's harder to be a man. But in America, Western civilizations, women have the luxury of saying, you know what? I think I want to just be a housewife. I'm just going to be hot. Cool. Respect. You know what? I want to go to college. I want to be a boss. I want to be a CEO. You know what? Respect. But that lack of clarity is harder to do.
I see I see it as focus. Like because the spectrum's so broad,
Yes.
it's harder to zero in.
Yes. That's my point. Anyway, we're having a nice spirit. Everyone take a drink of water. Everyone relax for a second. Can we shift gears here to a little more money-driven stuff?
Yeah.
I've got some video clips. Victoria, you remember when we did some videos together?
Oh God.
Is it okay if we play? You looked great that day. Stop it.
I was in a bikini, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. By the way, if you have not subscribed to Valuetainment Money, hit click, subscribe. We appreciate you being here. And if you have not subscribed to Valuetainment, I don't know what you're doing. We've been around forever, killing the game. But subscribe and like this video. And if you like what JP's got to say, drop a comment. I think we put descriptions in the links before so you can also subscribe to what JP does with healthy junk food. And we've also left Melitsa and Victoria's Instagrams down in the link below. Give these ladies a follow, okay?
Yeah.
Give them a follow.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit of money real quick. You're going to get some followers. You're going to get some men. They're mostly men. I hope you appreciate that. Uh-oh. Maybe some men will slide in your DM.
We love a good slide in the DM.
Okay, well, before we get to this money stuff, let's talk there for a second.
Oh gosh.
DMs. What kind of DMs are you guys getting? You say you love a good DM. How often?
That was sarcasm. when
I
said
picked
that.
it up. I can speak sarcasm. It's like a second
Hopefully.
language. What kind of DMs are you getting? How often are you getting DMs? How weird is it?
I mean, every day.
Every
Except
day.
the other day, Instagram was down. I got no DMs. It was kind of nice.
Very sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? I mean,
But
Hey,
there's
what's
like
up?
What's
filtered
a
requests.
DM you would answer and go on a date?
yeah. What's a DM that you
What's
would
a-
never
what
respond
would you-
to? And like what she said, what
Yeah.
would you
I
actually
mean, I've gotten
respond
like
to?
love poems.
Poems,
I've gotten poems.
haikus.
Like,
Yes.
Really?
Probably a haiku.
Reveal something.
I don't
I
know.
don't need names, but like,
I mean, it's just from people like I don't know, like older men.
okay, propositions.
Yes.
I'll fly you here. I'll take care of this.
Yes.
And
Or guys coming in the DMs be like, oh, I want a sugar mama.
they want a sugar mama,
Yeah.
and they think that you're going to take care of them.
Yeah.
That can't be
that's
accurate.
bold.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of bold DMs.
Yeah.
A lot of pictures, a lot of
If you get 100
Inquiries.
DMs, 100, how many do you respond to?
maybe 5.
5. And who are the lucky 5?
Sometimes they have a blue check mark.
Oh, they gotta get the blue check mark.
But sometimes those are the creepiest.
Oh my
Really?
God.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Melitsa, you getting a lot of DMs as well, I assume?
Not like that.
Okay.
No.
If you get 100 DMs, how many do you respond to?
It depends. I have a VA that answers for me.
Okay. Boss babe, I don't even respond to my own DMs. But okay, so of the 5, a few are a blue check mark,
Yeah.
but sometimes those are the most creepy.
Yeah.
Why are they the most creepy?
Just weird, secretive propositions. Yeah.
Such as?
I mean, I feel like I shouldn't reveal all that.
I don't need names. You can,
So you
they
know.
want
I
to
wanna
fly
hear.
you somewhere. They
Yeah.
want to buy you something. They
Or
want
like
you
go to
to,
meet up,
Like
like
they wanna do a
secret,
meetup.
and then some of them have girlfriends. And
Oh yeah, blue check mark.
Yeah.
That's that blue check.
I mean,
That's that blue check.
Blue check.
I look at it and I'm like, absolutely not, because I go on the profile and I look and I'm like, I wonder if I should send a screenshot to the girlfriend.
Wow.
I've done
Okay.
that before. I've
Really?
done it before.
You've sent a screenshot to the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Just
and
say,
then
hey,
she was
just
like,
let
thank
you know.
Oh snap.
Yeah.
No, that's a girl taking care of a girl.
I think that's girl code.
You think that's good? You're good
I
with that.
think that's okay. Like I respect that. Like a douchebag should be called out on his BS.
Wow.
Are you
You know what I
worried?
mean?
Like, you worried though about your safety?
My safety. I
I'm
mean,
just,
I'm not posting
you know,
it on TikTok, but,
But calling out some powerful blue check guy. I'm just saying, like,
What are they gonna do?
I'm a paranoid person. That's all I'm saying.
They ain't gonna do
Well,
shit.
JP, let me
They aren't
ask
gonna do
you.
anything.
You are a blue check guy.
I am a blue check.
Yeah,
I am that
okay.
guy. I'm like
What-
that guy.
what-
What's up? Like,
What kind
don't
of
send a
DM
picture to my wife. All right?
no, it's like if they send me a
I'll get you
message. it's more-
Chick-fil-A. I'll get you out
I do love my Chick-fil-A.
Exactly.
No,
That's-
it's more than that. It's like, oh, what you doing tonight? Like
Yeah.
let's meet up. It's not like a, hey, what's up? Like, would love to collaborate. Okay, that's
Yeah.
different. But we're like something that's crossed
Like,
the line.
I'd
don't
love
pro-
to collaborate. That's
Yeah.
the new line. If you want to hey, love what you do, would love to collaborate. Okay.
and then I'll open it and then
Yeah.
I'll answer and then it's like
Dick pic. Here we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, then you get a dick pic.
How's that collaboration working out? JP,
Well, I try to switch up the game. I do nipple pics. I don't do dick pics. I'm like, I got nice nipples.
hot. Do you get any kind of weird DMs in your inbox?
Yeah, well, absolutely. It's mostly like 10-year-old boys.
What?
Well, because that's our audience. They're like, hey, I'm a big fan. I like that cheeseburger you made. So let's not get it twisted. I didn't mean it in that sense. But no, we basically our comments are all just super fan based. And I don't manage any of that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then on my personal, like, no, I'm not getting anything on my personal. And as far as like Instagram goes, I'm like my dad. I'm like that old guy. I'm like, if you looked at my Instagram, my personal one, it's a ghost town. Like, I'm not active on it. And I'm more focused on like the business side of things, like just growing what we've started, and which is really difficult now doing stand-up comedy, because now the first time in my life I actually have to sell myself, and I've put so much effort into healthy junk food that I have zero time to put into JP Lambaise, and it's a struggle because that's making money. JP Lambaise comedy is just like you said, a side hustle. So how do I balance that? So I almost feel like the woman that could have the family, but I got the healthy junk food. I can't take care of my personal thing.
Can I give you the quick answer? Make that fucking money, guy.
Yeah.
Forget about the jokes.
Yeah. Forget about the jokes.
I don't know. That's
I agree with you. I'm very.
Because then when you make enough money, then you go ahead and be as funny as you want, or
exactly.
Anyway, let's talk money for a second. This is a money channel again, where money and relationships meet. And I was down at my good friend Olivia Omers's event. It's called Model Volleyball. It's in Miami every year. And I came across a lovely girl I did an interview with, and her name was Victoria Fresh, V-E-S-H, Vesh, like
V-E-S-C-E.
V-E-S-C-E, but pronounced Vesh, like fresh.
That's the country way to say it. I mean, in Italy, you say Vecce, but
I thought it was Vecce.
yeah.
Italian.
I mean, you can do the Italian version.
I met the lovely Victoria, and I was asking women all about what they're looking for in a man. How important is money to a man? What would you ever date a broke guy? Like, if he was hot? Like, these types of questions. So let's play a little snippet of that, and then on the other side, we'll have a conversation. So how important is a man's income? Let's make sure the volume works.
It has to be
That's
the
not her.
same or more
No.
as mine.
As long as you're not homeless.
Homeless guys need not apply.
I think more important, like,
There she
what is
is.
my income? I need a man to match my level of success.
I'm not gonna say money doesn't matter, because it definitely does.
friend
I'm like
Fosh.
a family woman, and I feel like if you want to have a family, you have to like have some type of income. I have my own money, but money is this close to oxygen. You really need it to breathe.
Cool. By the way, we're doing super chats at the end of the show.
Yes.
Let's keep that going, and we want to get your comments. But the lovely Victoria, most women said it was very important, the money. But you said, quote unquote, more important than a man's income is what's my own income, right? I need a man to match my level of success. So I'll ask you this again. How important is a man's income to you?
I mean, it's important in terms of who will be like my partner, because it's going to be hard if a man has a lesser income than me, because going back to masculine and feminine energy, those lines become blurred. And then at the same time, like, I want to have a partnership. Like, I don't want to have to take care of someone. Like, they probably don't want to have to take care of me all the time. I'm more of like, okay, let's have a fruitful partnership and and grow together. And that's what my mom and dad did, and that's like what I saw growing up.
So you're following your parents' example.
Yes.
And they had what type of business together, or a partnership?
They did a lot of like international real estate. My mom was a boss babe. Like, my dad is still the boss. So my mom unfortunately passed away last year, but they were together for almost 40 years, and so they had a really healthy, happy marriage.
Wow.
They travel the world together.
So they set a good example for
They set a good
their
example.
lovely daughter.
Yeah.
Did they do
Nice.
real estate together, or was
Yeah,
it,
they did. My mom had her own company at first, and then they came together. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm just following what I was like raised, and sometimes it doesn't work though. But 9 times out of 10, when I see what my friends, they like rely on a man, or a man relies on a woman too much, and that's when everything just falls apart.
You're saying 9 times out of 10, when one of your friends relies on a man, what happens? It falls apart. Why?
Are they married?
Well, I've had some friends who've almost been married, so engaged, or very like live together, and they relied on the man so much they lost their own identity. What we're talking about, they lost their own like income, and they didn't like focus on themselves. And now I have like a friend who's kind of like out cold in the middle of Hawaii, like trying to rebuild herself because she relied on a man so much.
Damn. Well, if she's in Hawaii, she's
I mean,
not out in the
Hawaii
cold.
is not a bad.
Yeah, I'm out cold in the middle of Hawaii.
It's not a bad place
You're
to
gonna
be,
all right,
but
baby.
that's like one example of like so many of my friends lately.
Got it. Melitsa, how important is a man's income to you?
To me, it's extremely important. I married a broke guy, and I'll never do that again. And I was the breadwinner in the relationship, you know. And then after that, you know, I've dated successful men after that.
So, and you mentioned this earlier and you said that you're the masculine boss of that relationship
In my marriage.
in the marriage 10 years ago, and that you said he felt emasculated, and that's why he cheated on you.
Well,
Okay,
according to what he said. Mind you, I met him when I was 21, and he was 7 years older than me.
Okay. But you were still the boss in that relationship, and he was older?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's that little money sign
I'm
right
just
there?
like, hey,
Oh, she's
I love
like, okay.
Yeah. And I just made sure I never dated another broke guy ever in my life again.
So what are the disadvantages of dating the broke guy?
A lot. They can't afford to take you on vacation. They can't afford you to take you to dinners. You're paying for everything. They can't afford you, you know, to buy you a nice gift. You know, they can't afford to take you to nice hotels, and they can't afford to buy your first house. I bought the cars. I bought the houses. Like, you know, so yeah, that won't happen again.
So, and you would not date a guy if he's not doing well financially.
Nope, never.
Just not even going to happen.
Not even.
So that's
no.
like red flag. You might meet a guy that's
Hell yeah.
tall, good looking,
Nope.
sexy,
Never
great.
again.
Boom.
That was him. Never again.
And just no.
How about the same way? Like, would you want to date a girl that's in like a horrible financial spot?
And and all she has
Hold
is
on.
looks.
You're asking
What's
me
horrible?
what my opinion on that?
yeah, would
Yes.
you want to date a girl
Got-
that's in a horrible financial spot?
I've done that. What are you talking about?
Guys do that
God,
all the
but
time.
And that
Listen.
didn't work out. So
Well, not because I needed her to get a better job. It just didn't work out. But guys and women, men and women have very different
But I think it's the
interests.
same, like in
Like,
a general concept. Like
You got to
wouldn't wanna
understand
save
something,
someone.
ladies.
Yeah.
Men,
we don't care.
Yeah.
men don't
care.
We don't care.
like.
I
trying-
beg to differ.
Men don't care what your career is. They don't. They want. I did this the other day. First and foremost, men want to like what they see with their eyes. Okay, facts. Like
I heard you saying this recently, actually. in one
you
of your
go on a
videos, yeah.
fucking dating app, right? And I'm just starting to do this. I don't really do. I haven't done it till COVID, right? I'm like, all right, gotta give it a shot somehow. And all you're doing is, yeah, I like that. Nope, I don't. I'm not like, well, you know, she's a lawyer, and you know.
But that's an initial like chemistry.
correct. But that's initial. Boom.
But then if
That's
you're
the
talking about
first thing.
serious.
Okay, so then
yeah.
second is what's her demeanor? She's lovely, she's pleasant,
Yeah.
she's cool, she's funny, she's quirky, I like it, whatever. All the personality stuff, all that. And then third, she happens to be a fill in the blank. Men aren't like, dude, I met this girl. Okay, she's actually a psychiatrist. They're like, yeah, I don't give a shit, bro.
I
How does
actually
she
have
look?
a lot of guys like
Yeah.
who come to me and they're like, "Wow, you graduated law school. That's so hot. Like you're successful. That's so hot. Like you have your shit
This
together."
is game.
Because
so
you're
hot.
hot, Victoria.
that's just game.
If you were
I
a
know,
busted
but
lawyer, they'd be
like-
like,
They
next.
don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to go with their looks because then that's too obvious.
Yes.
They gotta stand out.
Now, what I
That's
will
nice,
say is,
but
what
I just don't think it would work out if like she was a financial disaster. You would be like, "Oh, great."
If she had like a spending problem, maybe you could have some issues there.
bingo.
And we're talking about like
See that being an issue.
Bingo.
long term. We're not
If
talking
she's
about little
if she's
physical
a
attraction.
spender,
and she's not.
and she doesn't.
transparent about it either.
You just hit the nail on the head,
Yeah.
bro. If she's like in the red pill community, they use the word compliant. I'll just say sweet, okay? But if she's sweet and supportive and all that, you'll deal with it. But if she's not bringing home the bacon and wants to spend all your money as a guy, that's a major red flag. I've dealt with that before, okay? But it's different. Men are more visual and women are turned on by their ears. things that guys say. Being a gentleman. Hi, may I get the door for you? Oh, you look lovely tonight. Like,
I watched a video about a guy that said guys need 3 things.
Yeah, what's that?
That is obviously sex, and then I think the number one was to be appreciated. I forget what the second one was, but but the number one is to be appreciated. It has nothing to do with what you do. It has to the woman has to bring us up, not bring us down. So if we're out with a group of friends, the worst thing a woman could do is when he says something like, yeah, the other day I killed it at this thing. He's like, no, you didn't. That is the worst thing a woman can do, is to announce you in front of a bunch of people.
Bro, I just had this conversation with a buddy of mine. I won't say his name. But we just read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, as a company here at Valuetainment. And everyone needs food, water, shelter, clothes. We all know that. And then after that, appreciation and recognition. People crave that. To your point, I had a buddy of mine, and he would say, like, yeah, exactly what you said. And the girl was like, no, you didn't. Like, you could even barely, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Constantly undermining him. And I'm thinking under my breath, I'm like, yo, bitch, you say one other thing about my boy again. I'm like, but I wasn't going to say that to him. That, long story short, they ended up breaking up a few months after that. And I was like, oh, what happened? He's like, yeah, it didn't work out. I go, I got to tell you, bro, she didn't like build you up and edify you. She would kind of like belittle you publicly.
Yeah.
Do you recognize that? He's like, yeah, it was kind of her like defense mechanism and coping. I'm like, yeah. Don't get back together with her. She's got some issues.
Yeah.
Okay?
In her defense, I speak from both sides, always playing devil's advocate, but like sometimes a man, his actions, slowly the women lose respect for the man. And once a woman starts to lose respect for that man, that's when those types of actions start happening. I think in some situations, that's when if it's out the gate like that, that's just a toxic relationship. But if it's like something that's longer term, I think that sometimes you need to take a step back and be like, what's going on? Like, what is really happening here? Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel like you had to say that? Is it because I might embellish stories a lot and you just, you're sick of hearing it? Am I lying? Am I actually lying? And you're calling me out? So there's always that too.
Communication is key.
Communication.
Exactly.
What reminding me of what you said, let's get back to zero, baby. Like, you just called me out in public. I'm about to slit your fucking throat here for a second. Sorry, it was aggressive.
And if you're at zero, you're probably not going to
But like, there's nothing like, listen, support your man, ladies, and your man will support you. It's not that complicated. I mean, it kind of is.
It's just a nice little skill.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't want too broke on either side, I'm just saying.
Touche. Speaking of too broke, let's play our next video. This is featuring our friend Victoria Vesce. This is the one on the left, dating and money.
Would you ever date a man who makes much less than you?
No.
Okay. Not happening.
No.
Well, I'm a teacher, so I make no money, so probably no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think money is like the big issue. Personally for me, like I want to have like a super big income and successful, but it doesn't really matter for the guy.
I don't think so. I like to be with someone that it could be financially stable and help me to grow. Yes. Yeah, I think I would.
You sure about that?
I think so. Yes. Would I do it again? Probably not. I think I've learned my.
That was your friend, by the way.
Yeah. I retract that statement because I was drinking a lot of tequila.
Okay, because what I was about to say is every single girl, when I asked, would you date a guy who makes less than you? No.
I was nervous to go on that.
And then little Victoria's like, yeah, I will. I guess so. I want to make. So, but you know how they say,
drink tequila. Oh my
exactly.
God.
Once you start drinking,
the tequila truth comes out.
Exactly, the truth starts coming out. So
I dated a lot of like guys who don't make a lot of money.
Okay, well, how's that worked out? I'm being serious question here.
I mean, look at me.
No, stop it. You're not going to play the victim here. You're too good of a girl. But you dated a broke guy.
I dated a broke guy, but they had like a drive to like. They were working on themselves. Like they were driven.
They were ambitious.
Yeah, they were working on working on their like whole brand and like building themselves. So like I'm not going to judge them where they were at the moment, but once they stopped working on like it's when you're broke and you're complacent too. I'm just like, okay, so what you doing? Like, are you working towards your goal? Like, where are you at? Because everyone's got to start somewhere. So I can't like judge someone on their journey. Like,
yeah, and especially if we have got young people watching, 21, 22, 23, like they're just getting their career started. Hey, I was the brokest one of my friends until I actually started getting serious about my future and my income, like, and it took me till I was 27. I was proudly like, yep, I'm the couch guy, you know.
Yeah,
the
but you
broke
gotta see
dude.
someone serious about like going for their. I mean, there's been a
Yeah.
time where I've like been completely broke, had $0 in my bank account,
Yeah.
and like, but I was still like had this drive, and I was still going, I was still hustling, I was still
Mm-hmm.
moving. And if I see a guy who maybe doesn't have as much money as me, but he's hustling, he's moving, and I can
Yeah.
see he has like, okay, that's his goal, like he's going to it. That's hot to me.
Yeah,
too.
well, basically what I was getting at is that ambition. Women are attracted to confidence and ambition. Yes,
Absolutely.
So even if you're young and you're like, I don't have a lot of money, which we all were there when we were in our early 20s. You can tell, as a woman, you could tell the guy that's like, damn, man, I'm working. They're getting up, they're working, they're driving, they have ambition. You can tell rather than the guy who's just taking bong hits every day and just, I don't know, I'll figure it out, bro. There is a difference, yes?
There's a difference, yeah.
Okay.
There's a difference.
But back to this question, there's no way you would
Nope.
date a guy who made much less than you.
Nope.
Not even gonna happen. You've had that bad experience.
Yep, never again.
Would you date a woman that made much less than you? Hypothetical question.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's, I'm again, like, I'm pretty independent. I'm very someone that just wants to I think as men we like to provide like that. Same with like whatever roles that they want to play. I think that whatever fulfills you in the relationship is really what you should be focusing on. And again, the line of communication, like, what is it do you want to do? What do you like to do? What fulfills you? And don't force something to happen just because maybe society wants you to. Like, if it's the ass backwards, like if you wanted to, for example, a woman was like, oh, I don't care if a guy makes no money, as long as the guy can handle the power, the shift. Because that's where I see that could be an issue. I could see the guy being like, well, I don't feel like a man, so I can't handle this. Or you can get a guy that's just like, I'm perfectly fine with it. I think it's rare for something like that. Like, very rare. But for me, I like to provide. I think that gives me purpose.
Got it. You want to respond to that?
I love it. I think he nailed it. I think a masculine man, a good man, he wants to provide. And he wants his woman to feel safe, and it doesn't matter how successful she is. He wants to make sure that that he honors her. So I mean, as a woman, when I'm with a man, I honor him, and I'm expecting for him to do the same to me. Yeah, you just honor in different ways.
Thoughts on that, Victoria?
I agree. I agree. Like, I want the man to provide. Like, even though my mom and dad were both wildly successful, whatever, with both what they did respectfully, my dad was always the provider in the situation. My mom just could, afford to go shopping with her own money, but like my dad was always the provider. And even in the relationships where I knew the guy made a little less than me, like he still took me out to dinner, like he still tried. And I think I was like, hey, I admire that, and why he's hustling. So I think, there's a lot of respect, because people can't expect someone, it's rare now, like you just come out of the gate and you're rich unless you have a trust fund. So
No, that's not.
And
I don't think anybody expects
and
that.
like
No.
in dating you can't expect, like, I think a lot of women need to expect, like, guys are just not automatically rich. They got to work for it too. So like, I appreciate when a guy's like hustling and working just as hard as I am.
Yeah, our friend Rollo, author of The Rational Male, Intersexual Dynamics, he says that women are and men must become. Do you know what that means? Like, women, like, he gave a story. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Andrew Tate, actually. And he said, I was on a yacht, billionaire's lot. Right? And I was on there, and it was 100 women. This is Andrew Tate. And there were 4 dudes. 4 dudes. And 100 women. Do you know what those fucking 4 dudes had to do to get on that yacht?
So true.
Did you know how much money they had to make, and how much influence they had to make, and how much they had to contribute to society just to be on that yacht with those 100 women? And what did those 100 women have to do? Buy some fucking lipstick. And that's the difference. But when they say women are and men must become, men must become. But again,
I got that.
Clarity for a man. It's harder to do. It's harder to become. But at least you know what you need to become. Let's check out this last clip. And I want to know what women, maybe before you watch this, what are the 3 most important qualities you're looking for in a man?
I love a man that is has an amazing personality, you know, that's confident with his personality, that can easy to talk to. I love a man who is, you know, opens the door for me, you know, lets me go first, walks on the right side of you know, of the street, you know, to make sure I'm protected. And what else? A man with integrity and honor. For me, like, that's at the top, actually. That's my first one.
Okay.
You know, a man that doesn't lie and is not afraid to tell you something that might hurt you, but tells you the truth. I hate a liar.
Where's money on that list?
Money's important too. I mean, since we were just talking about it and I said the importance of it, I didn't think it was necessary to say it again.
So you said personality, confidence, integrity, being a gentleman, and money. Yeah. Okay. If you could 1, 2, 3, 4 those things, what's number 1?
Honor and integrity, and second is money.
Okay. And third?
Personality.
And then be a gentleman. Yeah. Nice little bow. What's your top 3?
I would say loyalty. I guess that goes hand in hand with integrity. A lot of people lie. A lot of people don't tell the truth. So I think that's number 1 for me, like hands down. Driven goes hand in hand with money. Like they're driven, they're successful, they're becoming successful. I think that's really important. Then I think like personality, like adventurous, like charismatic, funny. Like I can bring him around my friends and he can have a full-on conversation and have fun.
Okay. And Natalia, what's your top 3?
Top 3, I would say first is respect. I think that's really, really important in any relationship, friendship, is respect. Then it would have to be money. I think person who makes money also provides a different level of respect and they see the world differently. And then lastly, I would say personality. I have to like you. I have to be like somewhat, you know, into like your values, who you are, your jokes. Like that's kind of like the personal things, but that would be like my.
By the way, none of you guys said looks. So looks is not in
looks
the top
come along.
3?
If you can provide the other 3, you can become a little bit more attractive.
I feel a man who has all of that, he already looks sexy, whether he's not sexy or not that good looking. A man that carries himself that way, I'm like, hell yes.
Yeah, like it's that TikTok. It's that TikTok trend. If he's a 6 but has those 2 qualities, then he's a 10.
Yeah, that makes more sense. There's a scale there. I like that. At least we have.
Maybe
a scale.
I missed that TikTok story. What was that?
Have you not seen the TikTok trend? It's
No,
like he's a 6, or like if he's a 10 but he's a club promoter, then he's a 0.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's a TikTok trend. So like, hey, if he's a 6, I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, but
so give me an example of what you would see on TikTok that he's like.
They'll say something like
if he's a 6 but he's rich, like he's a 10.
Yeah, they'll say like he's a 3, but he knows how to take care of the woman in his life.
He treats me right, so he's a 10.
And it'd be like, oh, he's a 10, like something like that.
Got it. Okay.
And then some people go like, if he's a 3 but he's 6'4", then he's a 10. But
the other way.
Got it. Interesting. All right. So looks are not in the top 3, but if he's got those qualities, he can go from a 6 to a 10 right quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's hope for us, gentlemen. All right. The reason I asked you that is because I went and asked these beautiful women at Model Volleyball the top 3 qualities you're looking for in a man. Let's see what they had to say.
The top 3 qualities you're looking for in a man.
Being reliable, that they trust me, and good in bed.
Don't slack, buddy.
Funny, hot, and a good personality.
Loyalty, ambition, and caring.
Intelligence. I also value a man who knows how to work with like saving and money.
Just so we're clear, I've saved a lot of money. Just so you know.
Find someone who has the same values as you. Also finding somebody that is willing to support you in everything that you do. And third thing, someone that you can have fun with.
Dark hair, fun, outgoing, Latin.
White blonde guys need not apply.
No thank you.
Confidence, loyalty, and I mean, this is a little shallow, but I mean, they gotta look good too.
Okay, all right. They gotta look good too.
I mean, you know, it's a tequila talk.
But if he had the confidence and the loyalty, and you know, he could go from a 6 to a 10 real quick.
Really, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's rare to find confidence and loyalty.
So
because a lot of people are confident.
What is it about confidence that women are so turned on by? Because we were just with the orangutan. My guy, shout out to orangutan, who was here last week. Amazing photographer on Instagram and his lovely friends. And all around the room, you said confidence, confidence, confidence. What is it about confidence that is so appealing?
It's just confidence. They like know their worth. Like if I'm out like this has always been a big thing. Like if I'm modeling somewhere, they're confident enough in themselves to be like, she likes me and only me. Like, and then the way they carry themselves when they walk in the room. Like no guy wants a girl who's like, oh, like timid when they walk in the room. They want like that bombshell who walks in the room like with all the confidence in the world. Same with me. Like I want the guy who walks in the room and he's like, he knows he's but at the same time it's the confidence and like if I'm like doing something that he's confident in himself that he's the shit too.
Maybe it's like also like the confidence in like to provide not like just financially. I mean like provide and like he walks into the room, you can feel that he feels like I'm he's the big dick energy. I'm the big guy in the room. Like
just walked in the motherfucking room, dog.
Yeah, you know, like
it's that BDE. Yeah, I don't know how to. I was trying to figure out the word.
BDE.
Yeah, it's that confidence that they can provide.
It's a real
with
thing.
Women sense that.
I sense it.
Oh, what do you sense when BDE walks in the room?
You're like.
What was that? Like a breath of fresh air? Was that you like panting? What was that?
Hot air.
Like my sexual senses.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof. So when JP walk in the room, you're like, oh shit. Spidey senses.
That's funny.
JP just went,
I was trying to find a camera to like fourth wall break and be like,
you know how we roll over there. All right, cool. So confident men, we got that. Let's shift gears here a little bit. JP, we're gonna highlight your channel for a second, but more talk about the cost of food these days, right? Quick little stats for you. You know, inflation is at 40-year high, 8%. The consumer price index is even above that. Food costs after July 4th, they did the math. If you were having a barbecue this weekend and you realized that you had less money than you usually do, it's because food costs are up 11%. Summer cookouts are more expensive. Here's some stats for you, and then we'll get some perspective on this. From the ladies and gentlemen, beef is up 12%. Chicken breast up 24%. Chicken wings up 38%. Hot dogs up 12%. Buns for your burgers and your hot dogs up 10%. Everything's double digits. Veggies up 7%. Oh, you want to turn up and get loose this weekend? Well, beer is up 25%. Wine is up 6%. And sodas are up 13%. So it's not just rent. It's not just gas prices, sticker shock at the pump. Food is freaking expensive these days. You film one of the biggest food blogs on YouTube. Have you felt the price increase? What have you experienced?
Well, some of the things that, understanding the economy and everything that's going on, when you have when you're doing TikTok or if you're doing YouTube and you're coming up with these ideas, you kind of shift your content based on that, what's going on. For example, when the pandemic happened, we started doing all these pandemic recipes. We're doing stuff for like end of the world stuff. We're grabbing like canned chicken and trying to make it taste good. So basically what you need to do is just kind of adapt with society, because we're providing a service to people. You got to remember, if I'm going out there and I'm making a beef Wellington, they're going to be like, fuck you and your Wellington. You know what I mean? Like, I can't afford that. So you got to find ways to kind of find ways for people to save money. And one of the biggest segments that we pivoted to, and that's a very important thing when you do YouTube for 10 years, you cannot be doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And you got to get uncomfortable, and you have to be able to afford to take risks and learn from that. Mistakes are great. And one of the things that we landed on from all this trial and error were a lot of these fast food hacks that you're seeing here. And that is where you go to globally known chains such as Starbucks, Chipotle, McDonald's, and you're showing people how to cheat the system. So we have like a ton of videos on how to basically cheat the system when you go somewhere. That way you're not getting ripped off, because some of these places want to rip you off.
Show us how to cheat the system. Show us a video or two that we should highlight.
Oh, dude, the French. Well, first of all, that French fry one there that's going viral.
Which one is that?
The French fry in the cup.
Second one over?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Now, this is just a really awesome idea. So you should just watch.
The cup of large fries at McDonald's is amazing.
You just watch this for just it being.
Let's go.
I was wondering, can I get a large fry, but can you put it in a large cup?
A large fry, put it in a large cup. All right.
It's a good idea, right?
Yeah. There's more.
You just go like that, and put it right in the cup. Yeah.
Food hacks.
That's awesome.
Drive safely and eat my fries. So that doesn't really save you money, but like I just wanted everyone to know, please ask for stuff in a cup. So when we're leaving, we're gonna put everything in the cup. So here's my favorite food hack ever, okay? So at Chipotle, when you get a bowl, right, you get a lot of crap in it, right? And you believe it or not, you can't fit that much in a burrito. So if you go and you say, I want to get a bowl, you can ask for extra sides. They don't charge you more for it. Then you get 2 tortillas, which used to be free, but since they're on to me, they charge you like 10, 25 cents for it. Then you get home, a little assembly required, but you can make 2 burritos from 1 bowl, and it weighs over like 2 pounds of food.
Talk about save that money, double
I
up
do
on
that because I
burritos.
like both though, but I do that as well.
And then
'cause
like
you can-
iced coffee, don't get a big cup of Starbucks. Get a big cup of ice on the side, and then get your iced coffee with no ice. They fill it all the way to the top. That's two iced coffees right there.
Right. Save that money.
I love that.
Hacks.
That's
Hacks.
awesome.
We're doing it. I love it. What else you got?
Well, we're creating an ebook right now. It's in development. It's at healthyjunkfood.com/ebook to learn more.
I have a question.
We're gonna pre-orders. We're accepting pre-orders too.
I like this. This guy's onto something. Go ahead, Natalia.
I love those ideas. Now let me ask you this though, ladies. You're on a date with a guy, right? And he starts doing things like that. do you find that attractive? Or would that make you be like, wow, this guy's really trying to save like a few cents on fries, like a few cents on a drink? What would your like reaction be? Because you're alone, you do it, okay, fine. Or like you're comfortable with the person, okay, fine. But like you guys are just starting dating, and like he's giving you this persona, like I'm the, I make a lot of money, but that's how he behaves when you guys go out. He's very like bougie, like, oh no, don't spend that. Like, oh, just put it this way. How would you feel?
I'm not going to be micromanaged. No, I don't like that. I think that's just okay. We're pinching pennies at this point. I don't know. I don't really like that.
Gotcha.
Me personally, I wouldn't date a guy that eats unhealthy food.
But even like one time, twice,
No.
Like,
No.
Okay,
I mean,
but
if
say you
it's
guys
in
go
the-
to a restaurant and then he does something at the restaurant similar to that.
Red flag.
If he's going to micromanage the food, he's going to micromanage me. So I'm out.
But what if they're trying to be financially smart to provide more for you?
I don't know if a couple cents off a burrito
So-
is
Yeah,
going to
no.
be financially.
But
I'm just giving
she
it like
brings
I
up a
do.
great point. All right, so let's say, guys, inflation's a real thing here, right?
It is.
You're going on dates, right? Attractive women, guys take you on dates. Is it acceptable for a guy to say, hey, let's split the bill? Not happening,
not
right?
happening.
Okay, check, gentlemen. Now you understand, okay? What about saying, hey, look, I know we're at a nice restaurant, but just please don't order the steak or lobster. Let's just kind of keep it to a salad. Nope. Not happening.
If you invite me on a date,
Yeah.
you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank
We're
you.
taking the time to do
Yeah.
our hair, get our
Yeah.
makeup,
Okay.
get clothes, nice shoes,
Yeah.
expensive purses. Like, no.
Right. What happens if he says, listen, order whatever you want? Let's just not, drink, because drinks are way too expensive.
No, if you invite me on a date, you're going to pay for it.
I feel you.
So the way I see it is we got two,
Yes.
like you wouldn't take a Mercedes-Benz to a drive-thru. We got 2 Mercedes-Benz next to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta pay,
I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I can go to
premium,
McDonald's.
you gotta give them a premium
I-
Like,
experience.
for example,
Yes.
if I'm going to take my girlfriend out for her birthday, I would never tell
Yeah.
her that. So if I can afford to do that and this motherfucker tries to come and tell me like, no, you're like, oh, you're going to order the most expensive thing. Sorry, then you can't afford to have me next to you.
I
Okay.
actually had
Yeah.
a date happen like this.
Please explain.
And it was actually like a big reality star, and I'll just reveal that. And
It was a blue check guy.
It was a blue check
Can't
guy.
trust those
And
motherfuckers.
he it was kind of a similar situation. He asked me on a date, and like he went to the most expensive. Like he asked me on a date and picked the most expensive restaurant. He picked all the foods because sometimes I like that. I'm like, oh, I let the guy pick because I like to do like a little share thing. Pick out
Family style.
Yeah,
I'm
family
all
style. I
about
think
that
it's
life.
fun. Like you get to try
Okay.
everything. So he picked out everything, and he's just like, this is gonna be so expensive. Like I don't know what to do. And
And then what do
he's
you
like
do?
10 years older than me too, at the time. I mean, he still is, but
At the time. You think
but
actually
like
still is.
at the time,
So,
like
but
I
what
was under
happened?
25. Then he was like kept complaining about how much it was going to cost, and then he said he lost his wallet and I had to pay for it.
What?
That blue check
He
mark
lost
ain't
his
paying. Give
he
him
lost
money.
his wallet, and he said
Yeah.
and you paid for it.
Yeah,
Do you remember how much the bill was?
it was definitely over $300, and I was like 24. Like
Hold
I'm
on.
not balling
so
out.
you paid for it?
I
So
did.
as-
Like, what am I
okay.
gonna do? Walk out the restaurant and be like,
I
damn.
have a couple quick questions. As you pulled out the credit card, how did you feel?
I felt like shit.
Okay. As you're signing the bill and giving
I was like, fuck
$60
this guy
tip.
right now. He's never getting another date.
He's never getting anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And then last question, did he Venmo you $300?
No.
He just ghosted you? Bro, homie, if you're listening, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Okay, that is
blue check.
that
He's a blue check.
That is such
And he's like
loserville
on TV
mentality.
right now too, so I think it's funny.
To forget your wallet, complain that it's expensive, have the girl do that, and then not even be like, I get it. If you lost your card, lost your wallet, okay, pay the girl back. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Because here's what
Especially
happens.
if you invite the girl out and then you order everything.
Because here's
You
what
gotta be
happens.
paying
You know
for
the
it.
most important thing a person can have? Their reputation.
Yeah.
So now this guy's reputation is tarnished all over TV and internet right now for
Well, no one knows.
$300.
Well, no one
I
knows
didn't-
unless you want to
I
let
never
us
feel-
know
Oh,
so
no,
we can go
but
on.
you know his
ladies.
name. That's fine. We won't say it, but we're on to you.
Well, I have a similar story.
Oh, go ahead,
And it's
please.
with someone that everybody here knows his name. Also with blue check mark. But check this out. So he invited me to go out to lunch. And I was like, okay, sure. He was close to me in Brickell. And I was like, let's go. We go to lunch. Great first lunch meeting. Then he goes, like 2 days later, he goes, hey, my guy friends are in town. How about you get a couple of your girlfriends that are good looking and bring them out with you? And I was like, cool, because whatever, I'm chill like that. I get my girlfriends to come with me. He's like, we're just going to go for drinks. So we all ate, the girls. So when we get to this Balance in Brickell, they're there sitting at a table getting ready to eat. And I was like, oh, I thought you said that, you guys, oh no, we decided to eat now. And I said, well, we're not eating because we already ate. There was one more girl that was coming, but she hadn't eaten. So she got to the table. She ordered something. We all ordered just one drink. Perfect. They pay for us. Great. Then they wanted to go somewhere to smoke some hookahs. We go to the hookah lounge, and I ordered a drink. My two other girlfriends ordered 2 beers, and my girlfriend ordered another drink. So that's 4 drinks, right? When he orders the check, we were only there for like 45 minutes. He goes... he's like, they're gonna pay for their own drinks and I'm gonna pay for these guys' drinks. My girls looked at me like what the heck, because the check was like probably like $60 or something like that for 4 drinks. So we went to the bathroom and I was like, what the fuck? And this guy is all over like Russell Brunson's walls that he's made $30, $40, $50 million with his funnels. Long story short, I come out and I ended up paying. And then I go, by the way, in front of all of them, this is a fucking embarrassment. Don't invite me to bring my hot girlfriends to entertain you and your friends. You Mr. $20 million funnel, and you make us pay for our drinks. You can go fuck yourself.
Boom.
And they literally,
Mic
they
drop.
got up, like literally so embarrassed. Don't waste my time like that. You know what I mean? Oh my God. So anyways, yeah, I had a story like that. Never again.
What do you think? That's like a broflex? Do you think that's what it was?
What do you call it?
Like a broflex for them to go in there and be like, yo, we're going to get these hot chicks over here and we're just going to be like, yo, you take the bill.
No, I don't even think that's a
But
move.
what's the
That's
guy's
not a power
mindset?
No,
move
not
at
a
all.
power, not a power move, like
No.
like a douche move.
I-
Like,
Then-
it's completely
Okay.
different.
Then
douche
the
move,
next
okay.
day, he
like they
went
did it on purpose though. That wasn't like, it was
know.
accident. I feel like that was
Yeah.
intentional.
The next day he went on Facebook, said what happened, right? But his story is that we ate all their dinners, we got wasted on drinks. That's not my personality, number one. So completely lied, and all of a sudden you have a whole bunch of people just bashing me. The audacity of these Miami girls, and I'm like, oh my God, this isn't even how it happened. 2 months later, he sends me a text message that he wanted to see me again if I could give him a chance. I'm like,
It ain't
what?
happening, homie.
No.
Well, here's my 2 cents on this, and I'm been very vocal about this. If I look at it 3 different things: eating by myself, eating with my guy friends, eating with girls. If it's by myself, dude, I'm a minimalist. Basic. Sandwich, wrap, done. I'm in, I'm out. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not a foodie at all. Done. If I'm eating with my boys, and I've learned from experience, we used to do these monthly gentleman dinners. The boys, we're going out for dinners, all right? We're going out to, Morton Steakhouse or, what's the sushi place with the Z? Zuma.
Zumi, okay.
Zuma. Oh, Moshi. Love Moshi.
love
Moshi.
Moshi.
I mean, kidding me? Cat's name Moshi. Zuma. Like, we go to these fancy dinners, chop up $1,000 bill between 8 guys. All right, we're spending 100. I'm like, guys, I'm done. I'm like, why am I going to fancy dinner with you fucking losers? Like, like, you're my boys. Like, it's chicken wings or nothing, homie. Right? Okay, maybe not McDonald's. If it's with the boys, We're just doing beers and chicken wings. I don't have no one to impress here. By myself, minimalist. With the boys, basic. If I'm taking a girl out, I know nice restaurant, dinner, drinks, a couple $100, no problem. Well worth the investment if I'm into the girl. That's a decision that I've made, like budgeted for.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not balling out with my boys. I don't care about you, bro. Eat the hamburger, shut your face. Eat with a girl, whatever you want. Whatever you want to drink. And that works out well for me. What are your thoughts on that?
I love it. I think that's great. You know, I mean, if that's your rule, that's great. For me, when I go out with a guy, yeah, I like nice restaurants. When I go out with my girls, if we want to go to nice restaurants, we go and we pay for our bill. When it's just me, I like to eat, you know, just be at home, meal prep, and have my own sweet potatoes and white rice and some chicken. And
I ball out on food all the time.
You what? You ball out on food by yourself?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll take myself to Capitol Grill, have a couple
see,
martinis.
that is not like that to me.
Hey, you know what? Treat yourself. You don't love yourself. Who else is gonna love you?
Okay, fair enough. But I'm not gonna be like, Adam, you've killed it this week. Just go out, pull up a seat at a steakhouse by yourself, spend $300. No, dude.
Okay,
like,
I don't spend $300, but I
go
do
get a $5 foot long.
I like to go to North Italia. I go there a couple times a week, have a nice salad. My check will be like $35-$40.
Do you beautiful women eat by yourself at restaurants?
I
do that
all the time.
You do that?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
I even go to the movies by myself.
Eat by yourself?
I love the movies by myself.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be by myself, I'm staying home.
I'm like,
what do you do?
I'm pretty minimalistic. But if it's by myself, like I could eat like a piece of bread that's in the fridge.
But if I want a
stale.
specific
I heard a
something,
dirty
I would
rumor
go.
about you that you just have random hamburgers that you just warm up in the microwave, and your girl had to cut them off.
I've had to grow out of that. and Melissa will love this because my partner, she will not. She is super health nut. We are doing turmeric shots in the morning. You know, like so. What you see on there is not to destroy the illusion for all y'all at home, but what you see on there is like very much fabricated. But it's it's very relatable to like I guess there's so many people like you said with inflation, like there's so many people struggling to make ends meet, and you know what sucks about not having money? You can't afford to be healthy.
That's true. Very well said. Yep. The more money you make, the more the opportunity you have.
That's why I'm driven to work. That's why I'm driven to provide, because I know that this world is cutthroat, and you need money like to be able to provide and also be able to take care of yourself. Medical bills or whatever, and especially eating well, like Sprouts and Whole Foods.
Yeah, that's what they say. Whole Foods is whole paycheck, right?
It is.
It's sad how they make healthy food so expensive.
Yeah,
it's just a healthy process. It's expensive process.
They're like, if you want to be healthy and want to live long, you're gonna have.
Last question on this topic, and we'll move on. So, women, ladies, is the best date a nice dinner date?
Nope. I think it's the worst.
You think that's the worst?
Yeah.
Why?
I think I want something that's adventurous, something like axe throwing or bowling or
axe throwing,
or let's go like
activities.
Activities.
So you like an activity, daytime or nighttime?
I actually like nighttime.
Okay, I bet you do.
I mean, I like
best
a nice
date.
Dinner date, but I'm half deaf, so it's like hard. And I like dinner date, like not a lot of noise because I can't hear the.
Because what? One of your ears?
I'm deaf in my right ear.
Okay.
But I also, one of the best dates I've ever gone on until this day, I remember it, and the guy just never really worked out, is he took me, like he had his pilot's license and he took me on a flight and had a picnic. So I think like thought out dates like that, like he's like, hey, I got it. But like initiative is so hot. Like, hey, we're going to meet me here at this time. We're going to do this. I'm like, yes, sir.
Hi, Captain. How about you, Natalia?
I like activities, but I do enjoy dinner dates. I feel like for me, I find it attractive to watch a man like order the dinner, eat, pay for it. All of those things make me more attractive to the guy. Now, after we can go do some like activities, we started off with like a meal or something, but I like dinner dates. I think it's a nice way to like have a conversation. I'm not deaf, but I do have bad hearing, so I'm the same. Like too much going on, I can't.
If a guy just asks like, hey, can we meet up for drinks? I say no.
That's not working for you.
No,
Okay,
because
why
I mean,
is
I
that?
can't hear you. I mean, honestly, I'm like get to know you.
But you can go to a nice restaurant at the bar and like have a few drinks, maybe order appetizer. Like that could be like maybe like
That's
you meet
a-
him and like randomly.
Anytime a guy's asked me just for drinks, it's just been solidly drinks. It's like a bar that's like loud and I can't. It's just
It
a
don't
drink.
work for
I
you.
see.
Yeah.
All right, shifting gears here. Saving money. It's a big deal. You know, save that money. It's kind of our slogan. How can a man be conscious of saving money, but also keep a woman happy? Meaning, girls don't like cheap guys at all, right? It's all probably worse than a liar. Like worse on the list, liar, cheap. But you know, some guys are frugal, right? Like I consider myself pretty savvy with money. Like, how can a guy balance saving money, but also, you know, land a hot chick like you guys?
I don't like to know that a guy is saving money. I like to know that a guy is investing his money and that he can give me the right advice. Hey, put $20,000 here, $30,000 here and see what happens. When I hear a guy saving money, I'm like, what? You know, I want a man that will teach me about money and you know, and real estate and, you know, somebody who can educate me on wealth creation.
Gotcha. So it's more attractive when they stimulate your brain on investing than, okay, tidbits on saving money. But
I'm not trying to date a couponer.
it's not hot. There's nothing hot about
And I don't
being
like to
frugal.
hear a man saying, oh, I'm saving money for this. That's a turn off to me.
Really? How do you mean?
I don't know. It's just like, I want a man with that mindset that it's so big that it's not about saving it. Like he's looking to create wealth, right? And he already has systems in place to make that happen. In 10, 15 years from now, you know, this is what I'm aiming for.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if a guy is struggling, but he's ambitious, what are some words or phrases he can say that aren't going to turn you off? Meaning, let's say he is paycheck to paycheck right now. Let's say he is struggling with inflation, rents, you know, he's times are tough. What can he say that you won't be like, oh, this guy's broke, I'm
Say
out?
nothing.
No.
Say nothing.
Say nothing.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Say
Keep it to
nothing because a
yourself.
woman doesn't need to know. What does turn me on is to see a man that's really, really working on himself, on his mindset, that has a business coach, that's going to events that are going to elevate his business, his mind, his life, right? Someone who's consistently surrounding himself with amazing people and pouring into himself and also into other people.
Yeah, I see those same guys who are like, you know, struggling but trying to be driven, going to the clubs on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like you see them spending their money elsewhere.
Got
you
it.
don't see them investing in themselves.
Well, one of the things I always say about money and money management is that 50% of it is knowledge and understanding what to do, and the other 50% is behavior and your actions. And are your actions aligned with your knowledge? Like, you know that you're trying to save money, but you all up in the club, dog, right? You know that you're trying to lose weight, but you're ordering large fries with JP over here. So your actions aren't exactly aligned with, you know, it's like, don't talk the talk, walk the walk, right? You want to weigh in on this, sir?
Yeah, I think that if someone says, I'm saving money for something, that's for them to spend it on something. That's not going to have them grow, which is why I totally agree with that. When I hear someone's like, oh, I'm saving money to go to this concert, I'm like, well, that's just a temporary thing. You're not looking at the bigger picture. Right. Same with, I agree with penny pinching. I think couponing and all that stuff, they're not looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
With you doing all this stuff, if you just focus your energy on scaling what you're doing, then none of that stuff matters anymore. Then it becomes like negligible on the grand scheme of
What's
things.
the phrase? Don't walk over dollars to pick up pennies?
Yeah.
My phrase is go big or go home. So
Okay.
you ain't going big, just go home.
Hey, player, go big or go home.
Sometimes when I hear my friends say, oh, I had to move out of my apartment because I couldn't afford this, or I can't afford this, or I can't go to this restaurant because I can't afford it. For me, the way I think about it, what do I have to start implementing into my life so I can afford it? So I don't need to move out of my apartment if the rent went up $1,000, you know? So what do I need to do in my business in order to make that extra 10, 15, 20 grand?
Well, one of the things I always say, you know, a budget or a financial game plan is your income minus your expenses. So I equate it to, I'm a big sports guy, offense and defense. Your income is your offense, right? Putting points up on the board. We're scoring, we're doing it, we're making money. defense is limiting your expenses, right? It's how much is rent, how much is car payments, how much is gas, every food, cell phone. Like, so you have to be like, the best team isn't necessarily the team that has the best offense, and the best team isn't necessarily the team that has the best defense. It's the team that has the best of both. Like, let's use a football analogy. There's 32 football teams. You might be number, 5 on offense, but you're number 12 on defense. And like, all right, cool, that's good. But you might be number 1 on offense, but if you're like number 28 on defense, it's not going to work. You see what I'm saying? So do the same thing with your budget. Like, my defense is bananas, right? I'm good. Like, I don't spend money. I have a sick apartment. That's what I spend my money on. And all I do is focus on offense. To make more money because I have a solid defense. Anyway, little tidbit out there. Understand the difference between offense and defense. We got about 20 minutes left. I want to get through a rapid fire of these stories and then get some super chats out there. Do we have some super chats?
Yeah, we had a good
question. Let's save some time for these questions. We talked about horror stories, like the guy forgot the freaking bell, ridiculous. Yikes. The scumbag blue check guy who they were both blue check stories, were they not?
Blue check stories.
These blue check boys were coming for you. Here's a story about this guy who asked the Applebee's guy. So let's play this video. So basically, guy asked a girl on a date at Applebee's, nonetheless. And I know you would never be caught dead there, Melitsa.
I've never been there.
The bill comes, and this is what happens.
So you're not going to pay for my food? Are you serious?
I get it. I gotta go to the bathroom.
No, do not.
What happened?
He tried to go into the bathroom.
He's trying to be like, bye.
See if you can maybe play the TikTok link that I sent you.
Are you serious?
I get it. I gotta go to the bathroom.
No, do not.
Anyway, he proceeds to ask her, "You gonna give me some ass?" Ask her that question. She's like, "No."
After Applebee's?
After Applebee's.
Wow.
So, first off, bro, Applebee's, you're expecting some... okay. By the way, the bill was, I think, $45.
$45.
Wow.
Okay.
Big
So, not...
I'm not going to hate on
Not
Applebee's because I
pimping
come
up.
from like a small town.
I'm not hating on Applebee's. I'm
'cause
hating on
Chili's,
his
used to be
behavior.
the spot.
I'm good with Chili's. Applebee's, you want to go get a Sizzler platter? I got you, boo.
I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of hungry for that.
But do men have the wrong expectation when they take you out to a nice dinner? Have you dealt with situations where men expect a little maybe dessert, if you will, after you take them to dinner? Is there like a expectation when they take you to a nice dinner? Not necessarily Applebee's, but what have you dealt with?
I feel like I have a pretty good judge of character. And for me to actually be on a date with someone, that means I've completely done the whole vetting process and I've looked you up and you know what I mean? So I don't waste my time, you know?
So before you sit down at
Yeah,
Applebee's,
I would have known.
or at a nice restaurant.
I'm the opposite because I've wasted my time a lot.
We got the opposite. So explain that, Miss Victoria.
I mean, sometimes I don't really have time to vet the guys. So I've been on a lot of waste your time dates, and then they're just like trying to fuck after. Literally, that's the word verbatim coming out of their mouth is trying to fuck.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm just here trying to fuck.
Yeah, they're like,
they say those words.
Yeah. Like after the dinner, so they're like, so you trying to fuck?
Oh.
I mean,
that's
like,
romance right there.
Well,
what? Who are these?
I'm like, the foreplay, that is not, I'm not trying to fuck.
But why? Okay, I get, hey, maybe you want to go for a nightcap, go for a drink, come back to my place. There's some subtlety
No,
in it.
now there's no more subtle. It's just like...
What?
Especially the last, like, probably
Victoria,
10 days.
stop messing with these 24-year-old
No,
boys.
they're not
Too nice
24.
to them.
Actually, these are like 35 to 40-year-olds.
No, they are not.
Well, they have a 24-year-old mentality. But I do see a lot of that. But the nice guys, they don't do that.
I think
But
you're
do
too
nice
nice to
guys
the wrong
finish last?
guys.
Yeah.
No, because in the second date, they'll be like trying to fuck.
Okay. Melitsa, what would you say to a guy if it said that to you?
I would probably just get up and walk away. Like I don't have time to. I'm like, okay, bye. You know, that's never happened to me though, ever.
Guys.
But your personality doesn't seem like a man would say that to you. Like I feel like a man would be like, oh, she's so nice, she's so sweet, you know, like she comes from a good place. Like it gives them a little bit more room to be that like forward aggressive to see how you react. You probably like maybe laugh it off. Like you wouldn't. I wouldn't see you walk away like
awkward giggle. Like
yes,
no,
yes.
I'm like, well, this concluded her date.
Is there any chance that you're going home with that guy when they say that?
No.
Is there any chance?
100% no.
The guys, gentlemen, I'm looking at you right now.
Let's do better.
Just be better, bro.
Please.
What?
Please.
Hey, if we're taking a hot chick on a date, you know, newsflash, we're trying to get some. Okay?
Fair enough.
But you don't have to put it out there. Have a little subtlety. Have a little game like my friend JP over here. Okay? Just say, hey.
Someone said, why would they be subtle when they're asking for money up front? So like what, because they're paying for a date, why should they be subtle?
Well, don't you ask someone on a date to get to know them, not to like trying to fuck? Like, I'm sorry, you can hire a prostitute then if you want to try to fuck.
Guys, let me bring this back to business for a second. Let's say this is our first business lunch and we having a lunch. I'm not going to be like, so we're going to business together now, right, bro? It's like,
that's
like there's going to be like,
That's a
hey,
great
I really
analogy.
appreciate it. It was a great lunch.
Yeah.
I think we have a thing here. You know, what do we need to do in order to maybe take this to a more formal discussion? Whatever. Slow play it, bro. So are we business partners now, bro? We're trying to fuck business wise though. What? No, I'm good. I'm gonna set this one out.
Agreed.
Class it up. Don't be like the guy at Applebee's.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, I'm a little shocked. Don't put up with that.
Oh,
You're better
I
than
don't.
that.
I don't. I mean, that's
Have you
the
ever
end
thrown
of
a
that.
drink in a guy's face?
No, I don't. I'm a little too southern.
Yeah. Have you ever thrown a drink in a guy's face?
One time.
Yeah. What do you do?
This is a guy that tried to come into one of my companies and be an investor, disappear with all of our intellectual property. This is while I was married. After I put 250 grand of my own money into the business, disappear for almost a year. We finally find him. We got our IP back. And then I'm at Hakkasan in Las Vegas, dancing on one of the tables, and I look over there, and guess who I see?
Boom.
Carl James.
Oh, calling him out by name. Carl James.
He deserves that.
And you know what that guy deserves? A fresh margarita to the face.
Exactly. I walked right over because after this happened was, you know, when my marriage went to shit. So, of course, I was still dealing with all these, like, emotions and hurt and all that stuff. I walked over, I looked at him, and I just did, and then I smacked him.
Boom. All right. That's assault,
And I know
brother.
the woman I am today would never do that now.
Wow.
This was, we're talking about like almost 10 years ago. I've healed that, you know, but to answer your question truthfully, yes, I've done
Has
that.
a girl ever thrown a drink in your face?
No, I've never.
Have you ever thrown a drink in a girl's face? Power move right there.
No.
Yeah,
Reverse Uno card.
one time I was at dinner with a girl and I paid the bill and she goes, so you trying to fuck? And I'm like, oh, whoa, drink to the face, girl. How dare you? And then I went home and fucked her. But
I was gonna say, I'm like waiting for the catch.
joke. These are jokes, kids. Natalia, you ever thrown a drink in a guy's face?
I have never thrown a drink in a guy's face. No.
All right, well.
Would I?
I know
I'm
you
not
would.
sure, maybe.
I know you would. All right, next story. Our friend Jim Cramer. Okay, Jim Cramer is one of the, I'd say, top 5 biggest financial gurus out there in terms of notoriety. If you've ever watched CNBC, Mad Money, Jim Cramer's got it going on. And he says, you guys, you Gen Z, you got a problem. All right, so he says younger people have to learn to be more frugal. I know you guys don't like the F word around here. Frugal. And you need to watch those $14 margaritas. Now, apparently, massive investor. You've heard of him? You've seen him before? Okay. Booyah is his phrase. So basically, I guess he owns a restaurant up in, I think he's in the Philly area. Jim Cramer, host of CNBC's Mad Money and Investing Club, thinks that Gen Z faces financial challenges. Many of its members also spend too much money on stuff they don't need. I talk about all the time knowing the difference between wants and needs. Wants and needs. You don't need that. You want that. Big difference. So nearly half of adults belonging to Generation Z, that's 18 to 24, live paycheck to paycheck. All right, I'm sure it's actually probably even beyond that because I think 7 out of 10 Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So that's probably a lower number. But here's his quote. Younger people have to learn to be more frugal, says Jim Cramer. He's seen countless young professionals buying round after round of $14 margaritas after a workday. Despite hearing their complaints about student loans and not having enough money to put away for retirement. I know they don't want to hear this lecture, but I'm going to give it to you. He says back then when he was broke and starting out, he says he was sleeping in his car, but he was still putting $100 into his stock index fund every month. Respect to you. I still do that, more than $100, but every month, bang. He kept that going throughout his 20s until he became a millionaire, investing more and more each month, and his income increased. I put that money away and it made me a millionaire. So, all right, here's my 2 cents. We've heard the avocado toast analogy. Millennials and Gen Z, they're spending too much money on avocado toast. Have you ever done an avocado toast thing?
Oh, yeah, Subway.
Okay. But I'm saying like one of your...
No, we got them to do an avocado toast for us at Subway.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain that.
We said, hey, can you make us avocado toast? It was like, well, we got the spread, we got the bread.
We got toast.
We got the toast.
How much did that cost you?
Why not? Probably not worth doing it, but we do it for obviously for the views and entertainment purposes. But I think they might have charged us for like a 6-inch.
Exactly, there it was. But yeah, that is a problem out there these days. That Sunday brunches, boozy brunches, avocado toast. Look, everyone has the same big 3 expenses. Every single one of us. We have housing, whether that's your rent or your mortgage payment, your transportation, that's your car, Ubers, whatever. Or number 3 is what I call F&B, food and beverage. And it's easy to understand your budget for your house. Your rent's $2,000, done. Whatever your utilities are $100, done. We know that. Your car, your transportation, car payment, $600, $400, boom, got that. All right, how much you spend a monthly on food and drinks? I got no clue, bro. Most people don't know what they spend on that. And I say that it's death by 1,000 bites. You don't know what you're spending on food each month. So it's very important to have a food budget, just like you have whatever your rent is, whatever your transportation is. So there's someone on this panel that's very lovely and beautiful and might go and eat nice steaks by themselves, sitting alone, when they get the invoice and they say, holy shit, I didn't know that I was going to spend $125 on dinner by myself.
It fits in my food budget.
But if it fits in your food budget, well, I'm just happy you got a food budget.
That falls into self-care, though.
It's like
self-care,
it fits in,
Well,
it's a nice little mental health.
Yeah.
Okay. Go big or go home, right?
Yeah, go big or go home. But I used to be that way. I used to be like buying shots for everyone at the bar when I didn't have enough money.
Really? Okay. You were the girl buying shots at the bar, but you had no money.
I mean, no, I had money, but not a lot. I was not saving right. And then actually during the pandemic is when I learned about investing.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like...
Well, don't skip over saving and go to investing.
Yeah, I know. But I learned saving and then investing. You're
familiar with red light, yellow light, green light?
No.
Red light, yellow light, green light. Red light, get the fuck out of debt. Yellow light, save that money. Green light, invest.
Yeah, instead of using my extra money to buy shots at the bar, I started investing in it. That's what I mean.
Yeah, respect. Last story. I think this is going to trigger the both of you guys over here. I think in a good way and in a negative way, because you said you don't eat bad food. Here's this man.
Once in a while, I'll have a cheat day, once a week.
Okay.
I mean, before I came here, I just had some Doritos and crackers because I was so starving.
You have some Doritos.
I'm over here having Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets, but
Victoria walks in, Chick-fil-A'd out. Shout out to Chick-fil-A Kelly, who's hopefully watching this right now. My friend Kelly. Let's go to that man who drinks a lot of Pepsi. So, by the way, here's this man who is addicted to Pepsi. So, man addicted to Pepsi drank 30 cans every day for 20 years. Okay, supermarket worker Andy Curry spent a whopping $8,500 a year. That's $25 a day, and drank 9 liters in a day. In total, he drank 219,000 cans of Pepsi, which is approximately 8,000 kilograms of sugar, the equivalent of 7 million cubes of sugar. He says, quote unquote, it cost me a fortune. I could have bought a car every year for the same amount. I was just spending it on Pepsi. Please, if you would, go back to the picture of this man. How old do you think he is?
45.
45. JP?
Yeah, I was going to say around the same, maybe even 50.
Yeah,
50?
I'm like 50.
Okay.
55.
Him and I are exactly the same age, 41 years old.
You're 41?
Yeah. That guy's a fucking mess.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
He looks older than my dad. My dad's 70.
Okay.
Wow.
When people say, well, I want to eat healthy or, this is the opposite. Drinking this much sugar,
that's an addiction.
Pepsi, and then spending all that money on that.
That's crazy.
JP, as someone who You're not overweight at all. I thought I was expecting like a beer gut, something.
Oh, yeah.
How do you stay in good shape but eat all these really bad food?
I mean, kind of like what I was saying before is like, once you start turning into a business, you have to be mindful of like your health, obviously, and everything is just so curated and produced now that everything you see, like for example, I would have someone like that on the show to exploit him for views, if I'm being perfectly honest,
Yeah, as you should.
Because he's destroying his body, and that's why he's in that article. They're exploiting him for this article. We're exploiting him right now because he's so outrageous. Something like that is different because that's not a business. He's not growing a business by drinking Pepsi. Mm-mm. He's destroying his life.
Yes.
And these stories are depressing in my opinion, and instead of he's like almost like a sideshow freak act where he actually probably needs someone he needs help.
He needs
major help.
This
you
is
know
an
what I mean?
addiction.
Diabetes, like he's killing himself, and it shows a lot. Like he obviously doesn't have a good support system. If someone's enabling this, I'm not going to get into therapy on this, but it's a sad scenario to see something like this. For us, we're also mindful about what we do now. We're not gluttonous. That was like a phase in 2016 to 2018 where people like big and bold, and these giant foods were a big trend. And as we shift, we have to shift with the world. And a lot of things are going plant-based now, and more so not just because we're all health nuts, but because of the environment. We're going plant-based because it takes so much energy to feed cows and then kill them for us to eat. So I don't eat a lot of what you see. If that makes any sense, and we maintain a very healthy lifestyle outside of it, and we promote it too on our social medias and stuff.
Awesome. What would you say if this was like have you ever dealt with a man who was getting a little out of shape? And hey, I'm not saying that you got a guy who's just funneling Pepsi every day, but if you're like ever have an uncomfortable conversation with a significant other, hey, you're putting on a little weight, you gotta kind of clean it up. No, never.
No.
Okay, Natalia.
No.
Okay. Well. I will tell you that after I played football in college, and I was partying in South Beach in my early 20s, around age 20. So I've been like 200 pounds for like the past 15 years, but I ballooned up to like 235. But I wasn't like a fat ass. I was like more of a bigger guy. But one of the 3 things that I stopped doing was drinking sodas, sugars, eating breads, carbs. And what was my guilty pleasure? Just anything pasta, anything like any of that done, pizza, all that. So you just got to shift your life. I often ask like people that lose a lot of weight, what was a bigger thing that you had to do? Was it exercise or your diet? What do you think the answer is?
Diet.
100%.
Diet. Okay.
I cut alcohol because I'm going into Miami Swim Week. I cut alcohol, and boy, has my wallet saved a lot of money.
Wow.
And
when's Miami Swim Week, by the way?
Next week.
Next weekend.
Are you ready?
Well, we're going to be there. Okay. I just realized that we will be at Miami Swim Week.
Yes.
And we'll be filming. Maybe I'll see you. Thanks for the invite.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. Let's get to some of the super chats, and we'll wrap this bad boy up.
So we had.
And are they questions or comments?
We had one question. The rest were comments. I'll just do a question.
Cool.
We have somebody, Alex S. He said his girlfriend's 36 and he's 27, and he does logistics for Navy. There's an issue because she earns more, but I will go private sector in 2 years. I like older women because less games, but younger chicks are less demanding. What should I choose?
He's how old?
He's 27 and the girlfriend's 36, and she makes more money.
Yeah. His name's Alex?
Alex S. $10. Thank you, Alex.
I'm your friend.
Yes.
I'm sure that someone's going to tell you, hey, if you love her, it's not going to work, bro. Guys like younger, hotter chicks. Stop. Who gives a shit if she makes more money than you, okay? Find a woman that you could grow with, because by the time she's 40, he's going to be 30. And it's just, I get it. This might be controversial, okay? And I get that maybe they live happily forever after. But you can give you 10,000 other cases that are not going to coincide with that. So what was his exact question?
What should he choose? To stay with her, or should he find someone
Number one, if
younger?
she doesn't have kids yet, she's going to want kids yesterday. Okay? And doesn't sound like he's in a position to do that at all financially.
What if they don't want kids?
Yeah, sure. Then why get married?
True.
I mean,
if he's asking this question, the relationship's already done.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's my
and also
theory.
stick with what brings you peace. It doesn't seem like this woman honors you or brings you peace at all.
Yeah. See, this is why we need feminine energy and masculine energy. These are
you go,
feminine
Alex
responses,
S.
and I'm like, get it together, bro.
Another
But it's
masculine
not-
response I would give is like, work smart, not hard, and that could be in a relationship too. Like if there's too many red flags, it's like, why are you working so hard for that when you could, you know what I mean, make your life easier?
Well, the hardest thing to do is unwind a relationship that you're in. You're always going to be like, I don't know, like, you know, I know her family. We're living together. It's like
seems like this woman found a kid to mother.
Yeah, I'm wondering why she wants to be with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have.
So we have four panelists. They're saying, time to move on, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have one from Jordan Hernandez. I think this is when we were talking about like going to dinner and like he has to earn to like go home with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said he has to earn it, ? What would be something ladies have to earn?
What would be something ladies have to earn?
A second date.
I mean, the lady has to earn the second date.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like the first date, you know, a man invites you. I'm a little old school, but like a man invites you. He wants to get to know you. But to get to that second date, the girl's got to earn it.
And then what would a girl have to do to earn it?
I mean, you got to be like
advice to
compatible. Like there has to be the chemistry there. Like the guy's got to be like, I'm into her. Like I want to ask her out on a second date again.
And how should like make it like advice? Like if you were to give a young girl advice dating, you know.
Well, I mean, it's got to be mutual too. Like the girl's got to want a second date. But like if I'm going into a date, like a first date, like obviously I'm going to put my best outfit on. I'm going to look my best. I'm going to do my hair and my makeup. I'm going to go in looking like I'm a 10.
Right.
And then I'm going to obviously want to impress the guy. Like I'm going to tell him about me, you know, have chemistry, talk to him, like, you know, have good conversation and like then kind of make him want you more. Like I'm not going to go fuck a guy on a first date. Like that's my number one rule. I'm never going to fuck on a first date. Never have, never will. So
second date though, guys, gentlemen, play your cards right.
But like, you know, you got to earn your spot to have a second date. I think it's like a mutual thing. So like, and the girl's got to want it too. So
for me, I would do the exact opposite. I would make it all about him. I would want to know how many siblings he has, his childhood, what are your favorite things that, you know, you have going on in your life, what are you passionate about, how was your relationship with your mom, your dad, right? And all of a sudden, without him even knowing, he's starting to trust you so much because you know about him so much. That's going to immediately lead into a second date.
But what would you have to do to earn it? What would you do?
Exactly that. Make it about him and care about his feelings and his thoughts and, you know, figure out what's exciting in his life and let's talk about that, right? People love talking about themselves.
Right.
And I mean, one of my secrets to creating my events is I make it about other people. And that's why it's had the success it's had. So
yeah, I mean, good conversation. Like you can't just talk about yourself the whole time and be like, hey, I'm, you know, blah 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 blah, and start listing off your resume. I mean, ew, I don't want a second date. Even if a guy does that, like I want him to ask me questions. I want to ask him questions. Like it's just a mutual thing.
Right.
I think what you guys earn also, what you guys put in the effort is just putting yourself out there because. Believe it or not, that's a big thing, you know, for a female. Like as a man, we're the aggressor, we're the bigger one. You guys are putting trust in this person. You've vetted them out, and I think putting yourself out there is hard. And I think a lot of people don't do that because of the fear of the unknown or whatnot. So I think, and then putting in the effort. I think, like you said, you know, you're not going out there wearing sweatpants and you're showing some interest. This guy should appreciate that. That's a big deal in itself.
I agree with you. I think what we've learned is why a guy should pay for the date is like because a woman is going to go spend 2 hours getting ready, hair, makeup, nails, this, that, and they're doing all this for you. You know, so have a little respect, take care of the bill, treat them right, have a nice conversation, do it the right way, gentlemen.
And don't jump right into a solidified business deal at the end of the night.
Exactly. So we're going to fuck?
Yeah.
By the way, what are you doing after this? What are you doing after this? Man, you were going to fuck.
It's like that grunt you did earlier.
I love this guy. Okay, read some more super chats and we'll wrap
that's
this
all
bad
the
boy
super
up.
chats we had. We just had like
Those are the questions.
yeah,
But
aggressive comments.
You got comments?
We had aggressive comments, but we
Aggressive comments.
Oh, we love
What was let's go. You think we're scared of these aggressive comments? By the way, read an aggressive comment and we'll see who the person is and we'll shame them publicly.
It says, as a man, this is from Dean Petrizer. He said, as a man, I don't want an old hag on my arm. Marriage is for successful men and young ladies. If you're past 25, no marriage for you.
All right, well,
R.I.P. Me and Dean are not getting together.
Sorry, Dean.
Okay, Dean, I actually was in agreement with you initially. Yeah, nobody wants an old hag. But relax. What is the guy 23 years old saying that? Like,
I feel like he's like a 53-year-old man.
Dean sounds like he's broke as hell.
So are you familiar with the half your age plus 7 approach? So if you're 40, half your age plus 7 is 27. So if you're 40, you should go after a 27-year-old, hypothetically. So relax with the do some math there, Dean. So that's going to backfire on our friend Alex because if he's 27, half of that, he should be going after a 21-year-old, basically, not a 38-year-old or whatever it was.
Exactly.
Any more comments?
No, that was the aggressive comment we had.
Okay. Guys, we love you in the chat, okay? We appreciate it, okay? Thank you. Again, if you have not subscribed to Valuetainment, boom, hit that subscribe. We're here for you. Time for our final thoughts. JP, I got to tell you, you've been a very pleasant surprise.
Oh, great.
Because I've seen a bunch of your videos.
Yeah, I am.
And we don't get this side of you.
Yeah, like the serious side, right?
No, I wouldn't say this is serious. I would say the real side.
Yeah.
You're mostly, doing stuff with French fries.
Absolutely.
Like you've actually have some really good life, relationship, money advice, and I respect that.
Yeah, no,
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You've been experience.
A lot of depth.
Exactly. What should our audience take from you that they just don't see from you on your typical videos?
I would say that the audience needs to see that, us putting ourselves out there online and stuff, it seems glorious. And I think the social media kind of warps our perception of what people see in actuality. I would say 20% of what you see is fun. 80% is a lot of hard freaking work. Mm-hmm. A lot of the behind the stuff. And a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber, social media influencer. Yeah. What they'll realize, and I tell them, before you start investing and buying all this equipment and doing all this crazy stuff, just see if you like doing it. Yeah. And that means everything. Taking a picture, posting it, tagging it, because you might find out you don't. And then when you bought all this stuff, now what are you going to do with it? After you do learn that then you kind of slowly find yourself, and don't rush into something.
I love that. You're familiar with the iceberg illusion?
No.
Pull up iceberg illusion. Once you pull it up, you'll see iceberg illusion. The hidden logic of just put iceberg illusion success. It'll come up.
I know which one
Hit images.
So good.
Oh, cool. I can't wait to see
this is basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, pick any one. People only see the success on the top.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. That's
and then all that below, persistence, failure, sacrifice, good habits, hard work, dedication, disappointment. That's what people don't see. All they see is the success that you've had. I mean, one of the reasons that our channel, this whole building exists is because Patrick Bet-David, our CEO, filmed a video that has gone viral, 100 million views at this point, I'm sure, called Life of an Entrepreneur. And Elon Musk talks about this all the time. You only see, the guy driving the car, Life of an Entrepreneur in 90 seconds. We don't need to play the whole video right now, but he basically says, if you want to play like the first 5 seconds of it, he's driving, I believe it's a red Ferrari, and essentially highlighting, people just see that, but they don't see what it took to even get this Ferrari, the sleepless nights, the fighting with your girl, the drama, the headaches, the people that you have to deal with. They only see the success. They don't see what it took to get there. Mm-hmm. So what you're saying with your YouTube channel, the 80-20 rule, 80% of it is hard work. 20% is what you're seeing.
That's literally that diagram. And
exactly.
I ain't even seen that, but it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And again, once you do those other tasks, does that break you? You know what I mean? And that's where you can see whether the strong can survive past that. Because it's so easy to be like, get frustrated and give up, especially if you don't see results.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. All right, Melitsa, you've been a breath of fresh air. I haven't seen you in person in years. Epic Talks in Miami. If you're in Miami and you want to go to a networking event, this is the lady to contact. This is the event to go see. Big facts on that. What do you want people to know about you?
I really want them to know that I'm here to be of service. You know, if there's something that you're struggling with out there, if you need support trying to figure out your life, if you want to attend one of my events, and if you're feeling lonely, if you feel forsaken or abandoned, reach out to me. And I really care about people out there. People look at us like, oh, they're successful, but they have no idea what we've gone through. I was a foster child. I was born into heroin addicted parents. Wow. I've been homeless. I got kicked out of high school and told by my principal I was, another Latina statistic who would never amount to anything. I've had my dark moments. I've been suicidal. I've been cheated on, and I've gone through all these adversities, but I was never a victim of them, right? The reason why I am who I am now is because I decided to step into my greatness because of what I went through. And my biggest message that I could share with you is that your mess is your blessing if you allow it to be that way.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah. I couldn't ask for a better segue for our friend right here. We didn't get into all of your backstory, but you've dealt with a lot.
Yeah.
Especially over the last few years.
The past 5 years.
Explain that and what you've learned and what people should understand about
really
it.
Hard. Just all of a sudden losing half my hearing and then having to go through brain tumor surgery, over 30 rounds of radiation. Trying to finish law school, losing my mom at the same time from COVID. Like it's been like a shitstorm, and just like you turn your mess into your message. I turn my pain into my power. I call it my superpower now, and trying to help those on social media. You see me modeling bikinis. Yeah, it's great, but a lot of hard work, and you can't just judge a book by its cover. And even a lot of people look at me, oh, you're so pretty. You haven't had any problems. That's not how it works. That's not how life works. And I try to help anyone on social media. That was my big platform, how I got in Sports Illustrated swimsuit, and talking about, my message of, being a victor. And I think that victim mindset, people hold it so dear, but trying to tell everyone, let's turn it into victories now and help other people. And my DMs are open to people who want have a genuine question about, hey, I'm going through a similar tumor. I try to help them out because I had no guidance in that situation, no one in immediate family relationships to help me through my brain tumor. That's when I found the National Brain Tumor Society. Shout out to them. I was one of their patients, and being an advocate for them and an advocate through grief support, because it's such a taboo topic. No one talks about no one talks about losing their parent. No one talks about it because you don't want to talk about it, but it's a fact of life. So talking about things that people don't want to talk about and trying to help people, that's a big passion of mine. So DMs are open to that, not dick pics. But yeah.
Sorry, fellas.
Alex S did answer. He did answer.
Hold on real quick, but we'll get back to Alex. Just to recap what I just learned from the three of you, and then we'll do final thoughts. You've turned your pain into power, and it shows. So
thank you.
Respect to you. You've turned your mess into a message. I love that. And with what I learned about you is, other than the fact that you've got some game, okay? It's hard goddamn work to do what you do, even if it's just eating French fries. People only see that, hey, I drove in through a drive-through, but it took a lot of time and effort. A lot of what I talk about here is that society, and I think we're due for a correction, everyone wants to get rich quick. Everyone wants to be hot quick. Everyone wants to get rich quick. Everyone wants to just have success overnight. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Okay? For me to even be hosting this show took me 15 years of working in financial services and then 5 years of social media for Pat to say, hey, Adam, I like what you're doing. You got your own show. Bang. 15 years in. 20 years in almost. So good things take time.
Yeah.
Right? And
good things that last take time.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're destroyed if you get it too quick. You just don't appreciate it the same.
Dude, one of the things I always say is, I don't want to get rich quick. I want to get rich slow.
Yeah.
I'll take my time and enjoy this ride.
Enjoy it.
So,
the process.
Anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here. This has been a great show. You had a final thought?
A thought or a comment?
Okay, comment.
So Alex S. answered. He said, the reason why I'm with her is because she looks a lot younger than 36 and is a freak.
Well,
he said, I have...
Yeah.
I have
Alex. All right, we're done with Alex. Alex.
Wait, he said, I have a degree.
Okay.
I'll have a degree when I get out, and I'll probably end up making more than her. But
Alex,
good points,
shout out
thank
to you, buddy.
Yep.
I've been a victim of thinking with my smaller head than my bigger head before. So best of luck out there, buddy. And at some point, if it works out, send us a picture of the wedding. And if it doesn't work out, send us a picture of the new hot chick you're with. Boom. Okay. Anyway, guys, really enjoyed this episode. I would love to have all of you guys back again when you want. Natalia, you and I will be back here next Thursday. We'll reveal who's going to be back here. But this is what we do here on Valuetainment. We're providing value, but we do it in a fun way.
Yeah.
And I love what we got going on. If you have not subscribed to Valuetainment, please do so. And also subscribe to Valuetainment Money. We do this every Thursday, 4 p.m. That's it for us. Save that money. We out.
Yay. Thank you.
Yeah.